So much potential, yet so limited foresight. So much potential, yet so blind. Yet so blind. 'Tis a shame of the TradCon artists. What the oh Lord have mercy. Let's search up this Ryan character. Let's put this bitch. Oh, Amanda Seals is trending. Amanda Seals is trending. Oh, nah, it's for nothing. Here's here's how I knew. Here's how I knew that Amanda Seals was a staunch feminist, bro. Here's how I knew. Man, I remember seeing her, and what had happened was what had happened was Amanda Seals was doing a she was doing an interview with Lloyd Banks. It's not on you. I don't think it's on YouTube anymore. I don't think it's on YouTube anymore, but she did an interview with Lloyd Banks. Somebody in the comment section, because it's natural, if a man's doing a interview with a pretty woman, they're gonna say something. But the comment, he basically said, "Oh, y'all got a natural chemistry, y'all y'all ever went out before? Y'all ever dated before?" And then she responded back. I don't remember if he said y'all smashed, but if he did imply it, he wasn't being disrespectful. He was just wondering because he thought they had chemistry. So when he implied that, he was like, she responded back like a feminist. Like she was just like, "You misogynist piece of blah blah blah. Why do you think only a man and woman?" And she went off on a whole tirade. And then he's like, "Damn, now I know damn well y'all smashed." Yo, I was laughing so hard. She ended up deleting her comments. I remember. I don't know if I can let me see if I can find that real quick. Because I was laughing so hard. Because she basically exposed herself. I'm like, yep, he smashed. You didn't need to do all that. You did not need to do all that. Let's see something real quick. Lloyd Banks, Amanda Seals. Let's see if I can find that interview. I think because it was on her channel. The interview was on her old YouTube channel. It was like Amanda Seals TV. I don't know if she still has that channel. I don't even think she has that channel up anymore. But it was hilarious. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Anyway, let's share this screen real quick. Let's share the screen. Let's. Oh, cool. I could even share my private windows. That's beautiful. All right, so that's gonna work for later on what I need it for. Anyway, oh guys, I want you guys. If you guys don't have the chance, follow. You guys need it. You need to follow all. I believe this in this space. You need to follow every. Well, not follow, but you need to keep track of all things, meaning all the parts of this RP space, including the dark side. And I'll say Red Pill Luffy, he's one of my favorite, and he's part of the dark side. Yes, he is. But I need you to follow people like this. You need to see another side of this thing, right? I was introduced to the dark side technically through my retail job, meaning I would work at these spots, and like I would work with women that were part of the dark side. You know what I mean? Or, you'll work with people, they strip on the side. And if you strip on the side, that means you also do other things on the side too. So that's how it is. First off, let me Anyway, just had to fix my mic real quick. But anyway, follow my boy, Red Pill Luffy. Follow my guy right here. Follow my guy. That this guy, man. Let me see. Hillary Crowder. That name sounds familiar. Why don't I know Hillary Crowder? Is she one of those? The name sounds familiar. I don't know. I don't know why she's blanking, but I think she's a TradCon girl. But let me see. So Hillary Crowder says red-pilled keyboard warriors are not just incels tweeting from their mom's basement. Many of them have wives they go home to. They take the ideology they espouse on X and apply it to the person that committed their life to them while their children watch on. Don't stop speaking the truth. And now she's trying to. So I guess she's trying to change the definition of incel. What in the hell? We said, wait, isn't this the chick that? Wait, isn't? Wait, hold on. Hillary Crowder. Don't tell me. Hold on for a second. Please do not tell me that's um Steve Crowder's ex-wife. Hold on for a second. Oh my God. Wow. So Hillary Crowder, that's Steve Crowder's ex-wife. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. I had no idea. Because I'm like, Hillary Crowder. I'm like, that name sounds way too familiar. I was even gonna bring this post up. Isn't that amazing? Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson. Steve's ex. Okay, thank you, Gary. I didn't see your chat, but yeah, that's wow. I didn't because I didn't see your chat. So that's Steve's ex-wife. Now she's trying to talk on the RP space. And like I said, what the normies have done, they're very smart at doing this. What they have done successfully is they've merged the incel and the RP community together. So they always just say red pill incel space. And even though the red pill space and the incels, those are both separate entities. You know what I mean? So the normies have done a very good job by, when you keep saying, like, okay, like for example, if you keep saying Muslims are terrorists, Muslims are terrorists, if you keep putting it on the screen, uh, buildings falling down, you put a Muslim, a guy with a turban on next to it, you keep flashing it on the screen. Eventually, the normies are gonna just assume Muslim terrorists. So same tactics, same shit, different day. So they've done the same thing with the RP. They keep putting incel RPs as the same thing, but that's just not true. I've already done a whole live stream debunking that. But anyway, so now they're trying to redefine the term incel. So when they say incel, they're trying to imply the RP space is part of that too. Very lazy reasoning. Hillary Crowder. Oh man, I can't believe this. So she is the ex-wife of Steve Crowder. My God. This is the girl that now mind you, Steve Crowder was the same person. And if anybody that remember, Steve Crowder was the same person talking crazy about this space that we had, the RP space. Talking crazy about MGTOWs and all that. This was the same guy. And now he's going through it. Oh, look, look at her bio. Twin mom, rebuilding from the rubble. What are you talking about rebuilding from the You caused the earthquake. Rebuilding from the rubble. You're the one that destroyed your whole family. What? Why do women do this? Like it'll be like divorce, like it'll be moms on Instagram, right? And they'll be like, "Oh, hold on, my bad." Talking about twin mom rebuilding from the rubble. It'll be divorce moms on Instagram, right? They're going through a divorce and they'll be like, "I'm going through a divorce, probably currently, and blah blah blah. Now I'm a single." You're not a single mom. I thought according to you guys were co-parenting. I thought co-parenting was success, quote unquote successful. I thought you're quote unquote co-parents. No, she still sees herself as a single mom. They just want to play single mom so they can gain sympathy from normies. Because most dudes don't have the balls to be like, look, if she's a single mom, that's a flaw most likely on her end. Oh man. Oh Lord, she looking for a job too. You see, seeking opportunities, looking for work that is remote with flexibility. I am open to anything, particularly work that will allow me for me to present at home with the twins. Thank you in advance to anyone that's willing to help me in this pursuit by sharing this post. This bitch. Yo, I swear, yo, these 304s done lost it, dog. I was even gonna share. I didn't even know who she was. I was like, Hillary Crowder, who that is? I like who that is. Oh, I'm like, who that is, man? Oh my god, I'm done with these hoes, dog. This is crazy. What do you mean looking for? What she she breaks up her family to a TradCon dude, ruining this man. Where now he's basically begging for forgiveness from the RP space. Now she in here trying to look for work. Bitch, you had it. She had it made, dog. She had it perfect. What do you I have two small children. Nigga, if you can't okay. I hope to God they're not in no custody battle. Because clearly, and then you trying to use this I got two small children. Nah, no, 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 no. If push comes to shove, he should not be having a battle for 50-50 custody. With this post alone, this post alone, Steve Crowder should not be having a battle for no 50-50 custody. Well, because what people don't understand is men usually have to battle for 50-50 custody, usually, which should also already should be rightfully his. Hold on, I'm about to send a message to somebody real quick. Real quick. Because I'm getting calls while I'm streaming. I'm doing a live stream right now. Please leave me the hell alone. No, I'm playing. And send. Okay. So this is crazy. This is crazy. With this post, I hope people are looking at this post right now. This is insane. With this post alone, look at Hillary Crowder's post. This is Steve Crowder's ex, Steven Crowder's ex. Seeking opportunities, looking for work that is remote with flexibility. I am open to anything. Well, first of all, you already why do women do this? Okay. The first two parts right here. She's saying looking for remote work that is remote with flexibility. I am open to anything. Already you've contradicted yourself because you're only looking for a remote job with flexibility. Meaning, and when she means with flexibility, she doesn't understand what flexibility means. She mean flexibility to the companies really mean they can put you on whenever they feel like it, not whenever you feel like it. That's what flex. This is what happens to these 304s that try to go back in this. I am open to anything, particularly work that will allow for me to be present at home with the twins. That's not flexibility. That's like I said, open flexibility for the company, flexibility to the employee, and flexibility to the company are two different things. Anybody that's been in the workforce know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. When we talk, when a person talks about flexibility, we mean okay, we're creating our own hours, right? But when flexibility to the company means we put you on whenever whatever we want to put whenever we want to put you on, no matter what you think. Oh Lord have mercy. She says, "Thank that will allow for me to be present at home with the twins." She's trying to do anything she can to keep from working a real job because that means the twins will be left alone. And if the twins are being left alone, that means she's going to have to hire a babysitter, or Steve Crowder can literally use that for his case to be like, look, clearly she can't get primary custody if she has to work and leave the kids alone. She says, "Thank you in advance to anyone that's willing to help me in this pursuit by sharing this post. I look forward to bringing my diligence, hard work ethic, creativity, and ability to think outside the box into whatever work environment I end up in. And I also bring abandoning my family." I'm sorry. I mean, sorry, I just added that in there. Oh no. So Garrett Grant says, especially now that more companies want people to work from the office, they this is when her making this post shows how out of touch she is. Does she not? Does she understand how the workforce how it works? She- I'll say this, man. I always say this because um this is what I believe black women be fighting for this right. Meaning this, because I believe white women are the most privileged beings, particularly in America. Like, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate. And I believe black women, what they fight for is that right to just be this goofy and to still be able to, meaning this. I'll give you an example. Like, white women can afford to be like, oh man, like back in my past, I had a crazy past. My college years, that was a different me. I was with these drug dealers, but I was abused. Like, they can get away with doing that and still end up with like a rich Brad simp or a decent, hardworking simp that would still take care of her and she could still live a good life. Like, and then, but black women, on the other hand, if they admit any of that, they're gonna be known as ratchet, right? They're gonna be like, oh, this is typical. You know what I mean? And I think that's what black women kind of chase for, is that freedom that white women have in America to be very goofy, to be very they're very free to do whatever they want. Whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they chase for. But you look at what Hillary Crowder's doing, you're just like, are you kidding me? Oh man. Let's go back here. She said, I know I may get ripped apart in the comments given that I am the mom of you see that bullshit she pulled? She said, I know I may get ripped apart in the comments given that I am the mom of two small children. Please be respectful and know that the plan was for our children to have a stay-at-home mother, but unfortunately I have been put in a position where that is no longer possible. What do you mean? What? I've been put in a position. You put yourself in that position. She said, here's my LinkedIn. The email to reach me is Hillary Crowder 1@gmail.com. First of all, she's an idiot for putting all of that stuff out there. She's going to get trolled. She's going to have to block her email. No, Hillary Crowder, what you need to do, what you need to do is this. Steve Crowder, if you're watching this, Steve, I'll say this, Steve Crowder, if you're watching this, I know I diss you a lot, and I know you're on your knees for forgiveness to the RP space for uh, uh um what's about to come to you in the family courts. But if you're watching this, I will say this: file for full custody. Put your, because you got the paper. You're gonna have to sacrifice some paper, some bread, but what you're gonna that just filing for 50-50, that's not going to cut it. And he's probably listening. He's sorry. I mean, he probably know he's doing this already. He's probably filing for full custody, as he should, because this is a stupid bitch. This is clearly a woman that clearly this is a person that has no plan. This is clearly a person that this is a destructive being, a destructive force of nature that he unfortunately procreated with. He needs to keep that her influence out of the kid's life as much as possible, because I think if he go because what people don't understand, for women, if the man has 50-50 custody, she sees it as a loss. So what he's going to have to do, homie, you're going to have to file for full custody if you can. File for full custody. File for full custody. If not, do the Corey Holcomb method, or never mind. Just file for file for full custody, man. File for full custody. That's all I can tell you, because this, you got a jobless bitch looking for flexibility remote work on her terms. um oh man. But has she even worked? Maybe it's just me. I don't because if you with Crowder at the time, I'm pretty sure he told her not to work when they were together. This, and you got a fellow woman giving her advice. Oh man, I keep telling y'all, you guys gotta watch out for those TradCon girls. The liberal girls, those are easy, bro. And if you actually look, like, for example, people just think just being a liberal girl, dealing with liberal girls are bad. Look, man, as long as you don't marry them, as long as you don't procreate with them, you'll actually get along just fine. It's just men are simps. So if the woman is showing up to you in a certain manner, that men don't understand is they're showing you what they want you to see. You know what I mean? A hoe is a hoe, bro. It don't matter, liberal, conservative, Buddhist. If she claims she's alphabet community, a hoe is a hoe, man. A hoe is a hoe. This is what trad cons don't, they don't get this stuff. So now I gotta look into all the women that stepped in to give her advice, even knowing what Steve Crowder's wife did. You should already have shunned this bitch, because what happens to men that are going through divorce, even though they don't initiate it, most of those divorced men literally end up on their own, meaning they're like their friends, whatever married, like the husbands would be will be in, like, married friends groups with other married men, and when they be going through divorce, the married husbands in that friend group, their wives will find out, and they'll tell you, no, you can't hang out with that man no more. So I'm telling you this to watch. I'm telling you this because every woman in this comment section now giving her advice and now trying to help her out, you need to pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention, because really should be outcasting her. But like I said, women always help their own. No matter, I'm talking about, you know what I mean? These are all, and mind you, these are all TradCon girls, women in the comment section. All TradCon women and a couple of simp ninjas. Oh Lord. Hold on for a second. You got, because I see some so-called patriarchy Hannah. Let's see what good it's tea. Yeah, so what's good is tea? You're next, dog. Anyway, look, man. Oh man. Yeah, you guys better watch out, man. These are things I used to pick up on when I was younger. Unfortunately, I had bad run-ins with women like this when I was like a kid. Meaning they would say certain shit, or I would see them say shit, and people would think they were good women. I'll be like, "What are you talking about? Did you hear what she just said?" But a lot of men are very blind to this. A lot of I don't know what it is. Men are very blind to these things. I still don't get it. I don't get it. Look, if you're dealing with like a liberal girl, right? You already know what like. Okay, she got pink hair. Dismissed. It's easy. It's easy. Like you got a poisonous frog. They'll have certain colors, and you'll just be like, look, man. Not all snakes are venomous, but you don't be trying to stick around to find out, do you? Not all snakes are venomous. Literally, there's snakes out there that you don't have to worry about it. You can even have certain snakes as pets. You need, homie, you need to protect yourselves like black people protect themselves from snakes. This is what I want men. Men need to protect themselves from women like black people protect themselves from snakes. You don't see a whole lot of black people with snakes as pets. And like I said, not all, dude, there's snakes, not all snakes are venomous. Even the venomous snakes, you could some of them you can just walk by and you don't even they don't do nothing to you. But black people, they don't stick around to find out. They keep their business distance from these things. Somebody got to clip that. Somebody got to clip that. Anyway. Yo, people, oh man, people need to understand how this works. This I was even gonna cover Hillary Crowder, but until I saw her on my feed, this bitch is looking for a job. And then at the same time, she's gonna be in family court trying to see how much she can separate her kids from Steve Crowder and talking about he's abusive and whatnot. Oh my God. This is interesting, man. This is very interesting. Posting her kid. Yeah, this man, if man, Steve Crowder, you gotta file for full custody or be like 50 Cent or just pay the bitch, leave her and then let her fend for herself and the kids. Yes, that'll mean you'll be quote unquote a deadbeat dad. But look what she's doing to you right now. It don't even matter. It don't matter. Man, let's go through my bookmarks. Let's see what we got for these normies. Woo! Right here. This is beautiful. Now, mind you, I'm not a fan of Pearl Davis. I'm not a fan of Pearl Davis at all. I think she's a grifter. But let's bring up something that she said. She says, "Today I am covering the three archetypes of people I see in church and why the men are leaving." She says she sees the simps, the born again virgins, and the controlling wives. Now, all three of those are true. Now, let me add a couple of things that I see also. And let's include the ninja churches. Let's include those as well. Let's talk about the real shit. What I also see in churches, closeted gay men or just gay men in general. Number 2, I see I see thieving preachers, right? And number 3, I see, well, maybe that will fall under born again virgins, but basically former 304s that are now judgmental older ladies in church. You know what I mean? So I would add those two. But I was about to say the main thing I'd add to, I see a lot of gay men, and I guess the single moms would fall under the born again virgins. So for the born again virgins, that's just probably another way of saying 304s. So I would add those two. No, no, just the one, basically gay men. This is why there's no like men in church. And if you're just like a regular man in church, women are not looking for you anyways. So the women are looking to be with either the pastor, if not the pastor, one of the musicians, if not the musicians, then the pastor's son, and if not the pastor's son, somebody, one of the deacons. You know what I mean? And if not that, then it's nobody else. She ain't looking for somebody that work in parking ministry, right? She ain't looking for one of the ushers. Nah, nah, nah. She in there looking to move up in the game. So that's why like the average if your church is not like in the mold of a Geno Jennings, right? Anybody that knows who Pastor Geno Jennings is, if your church, because I look in the crowd of Geno Jennings church, right? And it's mostly men, like mostly men. And it's now they don't and I don't see a whole lot of gay men in there. So if your church is not in that kind of mold like that, then I'm gonna have questions for it already. Oh, mad people came in. What's good, Lorette? I'm confused. When Steve made that movie, I thought he became backdoor. Well, backdorian. So backdorian is a term that Corey Holcomb uses um for the rainbow community. So Steve Crowder, well, yeah, but white dudes are a little bit different with the backdorian stuff because they like, for example, what people are saying that John Cena was doing was a humiliation ritual, but growing up with white dudes, because I grew up with a lot of in mostly white communities, white organizations, orchestras and whatnot. That's just how they be joking. Like I remember Myron Gaines kind of went viral because it was a picture of the white he was in bed with that white dude kissing all up on him and stuff. But I was like, Myron, you got to start being honest. You got to start telling the true story on what it's like being involved and being friends with uh adolescent white dudes or college white boys. They be joking around like this. This is why I don't really hang around drunk white people like this, because I always have to worry about them doing backdorian behavior. Let me see. No, see, Rocky says no self-respecting man would find himself in a church or a mosque. I'll say this. The mosques are not how I grew up. Like mosques used to be, look, I used to give the Muslims a pass because I respect a lot of their leaders, but lately, since 2016, 2017, I've been seeing a lot of so-called Muslim feminists. I've been seeing gay Muslims and stuff like that. So I can't even give the Muslims a pass anymore. I can't even do that. But a lot of the Muslims put me on game early. He said just openly gay men in church. He said barely any millennial men in church. Facts. Tyler Perry, yeah. Well, but let me put this, because I'll say, because I've been seeing a whole lot, like the mosques. It used to be. I'm talking about very respectful Muslim men that I would see, particularly in the black community. And those would be the men that I would never talk junk on, because those are the only organized group of black people that I could look up to and just be like, okay, these are respectful. These are very organized group, compared to the black Christian churches, right? With Pastor Fried Chicken and Reverend Pork Chop and Deacon Deacon Barbecue Sauce and these people. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said John Cena is clever and he's biracial. Yeah, that is true. Well, well, said John Cena is biracial. Uh, look, man. I'm just saying, like, when you dealing with white dudes, they be joking like that. I'm not making excuses for it, but that's why I don't really hang out with them when they get drunk. This is why I don't hang out in the bars with white dudes in general, because they do stuff like that. So I stay away. Oh, man, but there's like me, I'd be staying away from unless if I'm playing, like if I'm, like, playing music, you know what I mean? And it's not like just one church I'm playing music for, it's like certain gigs I'll take. But even now, I be feeling guilty. I just be like I still get calls for, like, certain American churches do, and I just be like, "I don't wanna." I should, but I'm like, "Ah, damn it." Like, I remember, last I think no, in 2021 or 2022, I got an offer um, to play for a Latin church in New York, in Queens, to take full board. Like, the woman that gave me the call back, she liked me, and she's just, come on," like, "Yeah, yeah." But she's like, "But how you gonna get here? You're from Connecticut." But, like, we really talked, and I was really honest about what I am. Like, "Well, I'm not really religious or anything, but I definitely could help the program." And she's like, "Oh, no, don't worry about just come through. But how will you get there? You say that you take the train and whatnot." Like, but at the time, like at that time, I thought I was gonna eventually move to the city of New York, meaning or just the outskirts, meaning in Queens, around that area. I thought I was really gonna move to New York just off GP, just off the opportunities and whatnot that I was getting. But I ended up not really following through on that. So I was gonna play for a Latin church, but what people don't understand with these Latin churches, even the African churches, everything like the music is now progressive. So basically it's progressive Christian contemporary music, but they're singing it in Spanish, if that makes sense. So they're not a lot of them are not they're not just doing their traditional country Latin America or their traditional African songs or traditional Haitian songs in the church. Now they're incorporating American CCM music and just using their native tongue and replacing the lyrics of those songs. So now that's where a guy like me comes in, right? You said biracial. You never heard the rumors? Anyway. He said, "You better off NYC going down." Yeah, because right now, I look, I used to take like last year, I was taking a to train in NYC literally every other month. Definitely at least once a month last year. Um, taking the subway sometime, but I think this is just not the time. Thank God I never did it because if I had moved to New York City or somewhere around that spot where I had to take the bus and subway, I would have been caught up in that mess. And really what kept me out of New York City was that whole mandate with you gotta have your card. You know what I mean? By the way, how's it going, Angel, man? Oh, shoot. He said Latin church is no different than other churches, just wanna put people in cheats. Yeah, like, I can't name the church it was in, but it was in New York City, and they gave me an offer. Um, but like, basically just take over, basically be the MD on that end, but I was like, because I could have done it, is just the I don't wanna really do that kinda music, but I can, and it's like it's so easy for me. It's almost a walk in the park. I know what to do, I know what patches to use, I know what technology to use, I know who I would hire in terms of if they couldn't find a bassist, right? I already know who I would have called for that. I know who to help me out. I actually know how to do, um, Latin patterns. There's certain Latin styles that I already learned how to play when I was a kid. So I already know how to do that. So it would have been it would have been easy because what it was still a CCM progressive music type church. Like what people don't like the Christian churches today, they're just basically it's whoever has the better concert. That's what it is. It's not even really about You know what I mean? That's really what it is. I don't want to say what church it was though. I don't want to say what church it is, but it was in New York City. Man, what's good, D man? Man, it's good to see you guys, man. But anyway, let me see if I can pull up since you guys are here. Let me pull up that video then. Let me pull up that video. Let me pull up that video. Let me hide my Twitter real quick. Cause I didn't cover that girl specifically. Hold on for a second. What the fuck? Why can I not find I didn't cover that girl that from the whatever podcast. I was not gonna do it, but I was like, you know what? Since I have time, let me just use that girl as an opportunity. That redhead chick. Let me use her as an opportunity to dunk on the TradCons again. Look, and people get mad at me when I talk on the TradCons, but they don't understand. It's like they don't understand. They don't understand. What good for me is it to be, say, for example, who somebody who I like though, by the way, Ben Shapiro, to be a Ben Shapiro, and I'm basically getting my rocks off debating college students who are clearly being indoctrinated, who don't know anything about life, who don't what's the point of me even doing that? And on top of that, we got to look at the root of the problem. When you're looking at these newly liberal women, whatever, that end up having pink hair and all this stuff, a lot of them came from supposedly TradCon families, but a lot of those supposedly TradCon families or normie families, the men in those families are usually their balls are cut off. So they so this is I want to address the source of this problem, the people that can actually make a change. Rocky said the best concert. That's what it is, basically. If you, dude, I know some musicians in this circuit that are making a killing off these churches, dog. I'm talking about a killing. But I like me, I'm not skilled enough to play like in the black churches, whatever. But even like the black churches, they have now incorporated the progressive, the CCM music in their churches and mix it in with their stuff. And now it's just changing the game. He said the best theatrics. Yeah, dude, I've been in churches and they got like uh uh s- uh the lighting, the stage. It's a concert, dog. They got like smoke coming out of the things, and they got the spotlights and the I'm talking about piano players with backing tracks. It's a concert, bro. They got back. I'm talking about there's some skilled musician. I know they're killing the game, man. They're killing the game. This is why I'm torn when I talk about this because I know musicians in that circuit and I love these guys and they're making and I want them to make the most money. This is why even I felt bad even talking about the TD Jakes situation because I respect low key, I respect his hustle. I think he's a gifted speaker, but he is what he is. And on top of that, I like the musician. There's musicians on that be getting gig that get their chances over there to shine. I don't want to ruin that. I really don't want to ruin that. So in the public, I'd be like, man, like in church, look, man, I always say this in churches, I respect the pastors, I respect the musicians, I respect the deacons. It's like everybody else that's a part of it. And I'm just like, I respect everybody that's making money off churches. Everybody else, I'll just be like, I don't know what y'all doing. But anyway, that's kind of messed up, but it is what it is. This is what it is. He said people get mad when you speak truth. Yeah. Anyway, this is the girl that's been tricking the TradCon. So this girl was formerly on. She was formerly on. I'm trying to see if I. Oh, I found his profile. Okay, I found his profile. Let me, because I'm trying to see if I can bring it up on my actual Twitter. So I found his profile. I want to bring up his actual Twitter. because I got a private thing on because I don't want her on my search history. This is I don't want her on my search history, so I had to bring her up on a private thing. Rcam TV underscore TV. Here we go. So we have this simp here. Apparently, he's a Christian, a husband, and a father, and he's trying to promote this girl. Oh Lord, this guy. So he's trying to promote her, but he doesn't want to admit that you low key want to smash, and that's why you're giving her attention. Look, homie, there are real women that are that actually need help, and you're promoting this girl. Cause don't and he was trying to say that she has such a powerful testimony, right? Let me see. I think this is it.
You guys need to understand something right now. And it's so important for you to know and understand what's going on in the world right now is not a coincidence. Jesus is coming.
Oh no, that's not the original video. But basically, this girl, she was on a whatever podcast. I know you guys remember her. I know you guys remember her. She's on the whatever podcast. And she this is the same man. I'm sorry, this is the same woman. This is the same woman. Oh, I found the video. This is the same woman that was on the whatever podcast talking crazy about men, talking about how they're the easiest to manipulate, how her OnlyFans is popping, yada yada yada, all that. Now she wants to say that, oh, I'm a she pulls something that a lot of women usually do. Once they hit their upper 20s, their early 30s, all of a sudden I found God. Anybody that follows the RP understands how this thing works. They seem to always find God in their early 30s, late 20s. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Around that same time. And now they want to start preaching to you how they're changed, and now I'm a born again virgin. We already know how this works, but we're gonna cover her specifically since she's the one getting all the shine right now. So let's hear her so-called powerful testimony.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so really quick, I have a couple things to address, and I just need you to listen to me. So I've had quite a few people reach out to me, comment, just truly curious about what and why I changed. So listen, I was a pastor's kid for almost all my life. I grew up in church. I was always in church. I was also homeschooled. So my life truly felt like a cage.
Victim, 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 victim. So by the way, I always say this. Look, I don't care who get mad. Every single pastor's daughter is a 304. From my experience, every single pastor's daughter that I have met belongs to the streets. Look, just assume if you're meeting a pastor's daughter, she's a hoe. Just off the statistics, just off my anecdotal experience that I've had. Every pastor's daughter is a 304, dog. So it's like it's they always be getting pregnant early, and if not that, they just a full-blown 304. It's just like, I'm talking about pregnant early, meaning 16, 17, 18 years old. Meaning they're still in high school. Yo, every pastor's daughter be loose, dog. They be loose. First of all, I saw a comment that I want to address real quick. Rocky said, "What's the TD Jake situation?" Oh, you never saw that? You never they Diddy TD Jakes was listed as one of the people a part of Diddy's sex parties, allegedly, right? And he was known allegedly as a like a a very famous power bottom in Diddy's sex parties. And then on top of that, people found the clip that he went viral in when he was talking about, have you ever been swallowed? So yeah, I did a video on that. So, and she's literally trying to play Captain Save. Like guys like that, they need to be honest. Just be honest that look, you want to fuck the bitch, and that's okay. Like I said, people get mad at Corey Holcomb when he said, "Look, we niggas, we fuck bitches. This is what we do." All right, it is what it is. You know, you could have paid for her time. He said they found God. Was he lost? They always. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, every pastor's daughter is a 304. He said they claim they in the cage while not knowing how good they had it until it's too late. And by the way, I'm pretty sure she's moved right back in with her parents. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story. But let's let's play.
And I'm not saying Christianity is a cage. I'm saying religion was the cage. I was a Baptist. I was a Baptist pastor's child for the longest time, right? Me and my family did not have a good relationship. And I'm the middle of 5 children. So I'm talking about my other brothers and sisters and my parents. It just truly felt like such a cage. I was a very rebellious child, like sneaking out when I was like 16 years old. I was
Sneaking out at 16 years old. What have I been telling you guys? I think there's always this notion that women start sexually at 18, but that's just not true. I've already done plenty of videos debunking that. And I already know just off my experience, most of the women that I know, they all say 13. And I used to think maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just the people at my high school. And that doesn't matter the hood or the suburbs. It don't matter. 13. That's what I keep hearing. 13 years old. So that means she started earlier than 16. And when they mean sneaking out, that means, we all know what that means.
just going the wrong way, right? So about 4 years ago, I started my
Also, just because you send your kid to a church camp does not mean that they're not smoking weed. And it does not mean people are not getting smashed and passed. I don't want to snitch on anybody, but I remember going to a church camp when I was a kid. And you know what? We'll just leave that alone because the church camp I went to, it was like a really big like church in Connecticut. So I don't even want to people gonna eventually find out who it is behind these streams I do. They're gonna be like, I remember this ninja. And I'm gonna be like, that ain't me.
OnlyFans because I think truly it was out of pure rebellion. And like honestly, I'm such a like independent person that I never felt the need for a man to provide for me, like have a man in my life to provide for me.
Let me rewind that real quick. I want you to pay attention to what she said again.
OnlyFans because I think truly it was out of pure rebellion. And like honestly, I'm such a like independent person that I never felt the need for a man to provide for me, like have a man in my life to provide for me.
No, that's cap. She's not telling you the full thing. And I've been saying this. In today's age, most women would rather just be a full-blown 304 in their early 20s, late teens. They rather be a full-blown 304 or OnlyFans girl or even a corn star. They rather do that in their early 20s, late teens. They rather do that than even give an average guy a chance. This is what we're dealing with, where average women want nothing to do with the average man. I'm talking about most women in general. Most women want nothing to do with the average man. They'd rather go that path and then figure it out later when she's in her early 30s, late 20s. This is the plan of most women, by the way. If you don't believe, you can ask any random girl that you know. Their plan is just to basically party it up, live it up, late teens, early 20s, even mid 20s, even late 20s, and then once they hit 30, then they'll maybe even consider about settling down, quote unquote. And like I said, settling down to her means, okay, let me find the rich engineer that makes 6 figures. That's settling for them. Even though that would mean the engineer will be settling for them, but that's how their mind works.
So I started OnlyFans about 4 years ago and I climbed to top 0.01%. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that
Yes, she is saying that to brag because in later on in the video, she's gonna bring it up again how she's the top 0.1% earner on OnlyFans. And so when I first saw that video, I came to the conclusion that it's obvious that she never changed. It is obvious that she never was really changed her ways. But after finishing this video, I was like, this is just an elaborate OnlyFans promotion. This she's just probably trying to see how her numbers are going to work. You know what I mean? And I'll show you the proof of that later on.
the devil can truly give you things in this life. He has a budget though. He can only go so far. So a couple million, okay, great. The devil can do that sometimes, right? But I truly have gifts and talents. I just did not use them in the right way. And I'm reaching out to anyone who's like,
Gifts and talents. Gifts and talents. She can't be serious, but she is. Um, that's another thing that I'll say Gen X and millennial and to a lesser extent boomer parents are guilty of this. Basically, every parent have told their American kids that, oh, all of you guys are gifted. You guys have talented gifts. No, there are people that have certain skills, and those skills must be developed as kids. And you can use that skill later on in life to add on to what you can use. You know, whether you want to monetize your skill or not is up to you. But what we develop when we're kids and when we're young people are skills, you know. Um in terms of gifted, using these words gifted, I don't like these terms gifted and talented. It's almost as so when we use terms like gifted and talented, it gives people the false perception that they're special. No, no, no. I want to switch those terms around. And really, when we're talking to young people or kids growing up, we tell them you need to develop skills. You have a certain skill set that you develop. And when we talk about skills, I think most people can develop skills if you're focused on one particular thing and just we're laser focused on it. Most men can develop certain skills. Now, on the woman's end, let's keep it real. Most women don't have skills. I know that sounds messed up, but particularly, yeah, when you're talking about particularly Caucasian women, most of them do not have skills, talents. You know what I mean? And it's not because they're bad people. It's just they don't really need to. What men ask from them usually is very minimal. You know what I mean? Things that basically every woman can obtain. But even in that case, they can't even do that. I saw a couple of things here. It says the 304 who depended on her father, then some bucks, then daddy government. Government. The government. Oh man, he said she's going for the TradCon angry white boy incel money. I'll say she's just going for remember, shoot, I forgot what that black girl's name is. Remember that black girl that kind of turned a new leaf and people were making fun of her? It's like Alexis something, and she was like a single mom of like 3 or 4. And then after turning a new leaf, she's like, Dear men, I require a man of God. I require, and people are just like, huh? I forgot what her name is, but she got ran through the ringer on that one. But and rightfully so. And this is basically the white version of this. So yeah. Well, let me on the incel thing. because I think like people have this thing. Most incels aren't white. They're not. They're actually most incels are actually not white. But contrary to popular belief. But what happens is I know what you're talking about. I can after this video, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you right after this video. Because I'm gonna bring it, I'm gonna bring it full circle. Same hair and makeup, facts. If she changes, then good for her, but she could tone down the 304. Oh no, no, no. She didn't change. She's just trying to like my in my opinion on her, I believe that she is trying to see how many more she's trying to see what kind of number she's gonna get on her OnlyFans. I haven't checked in on her if she actually deleted it, but I'm pretty sure she still didn't delete her OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure she did something stupid like, oh yeah, it's she probably made it free or something. But she's not deleting her OnlyFans. That's how I know she not changed. So she's just trying to see. Like I think, like me, I think this is just an elaborate OnlyFans promotion, and she's just trolling the TradCon dudes. That's my opinion on that. She's just trolling. Is strong. She doesn't change. Once you put even a toe on this path, you are done. I'm gonna keep this comment up just so I don't forget. Let me finish this video though.
questioning what they should do in their life. And I turned to corn. That's what we're going to call it. Okay. So this is just me sharing my personal experience with you. So I reached out and did corn for 4 years. And I showed myself all over the internet. I said crazy things on podcasts. If you don't know the I Love Cheating podcast. And so I met this person who's now my partner, and he truly showed me God's love. He was sending
So, according to her, she found a partner. So somebody still came and rescued this 304. This is why they do what they do. This is why they do the stuff that they do.
me Bible verses, praying over me, and we were just friends. So like the Holy Spirit was truly working and moving, but I was in such a rebellion against it because I was like, God doesn't love me. I've had to work this hard for this many years because no one cared about me. My family didn't care about me. Christianity is a cage. It's not Christianity, it's religion.
She said her family didn't care about her. No. When you decided to go the path that you did, to take the 304 path, they just was like, look, this is what you want to do. They had to wash their hands.
Religion is the cage. And unfortunately, I didn't have like good role models growing up. My parents, my siblings, I didn't have good friends. I truly
Oh man, what a diss to her family. Damn.
fell into darkness. And I was, like I said, I was top 0.01% creator. Like that is crazy. That is a crazy milestone to reach in that industry.
You see? She mentions it again. This is where I was like, this is just an elaborate OnlyFans promotion. Let me play that one more
I
time.
truly fell into darkness. And I was, like I said, I was top 0.01% creator. Like that is crazy. That is a crazy milestone to reach in that industry. So I made what I made. I did what I did, but I want to share with you guys the truth of it all, because I am now giving it all up for Christ. I am now truly a believer. I would never take it back. God radically saved me from this darkness. And let me tell you again, the devil has a budget, but God does not. God literally made you. He made this world. He made the heavens. Like, what makes you think that God can't bless?
Also, this is a term that I picked up when I was in middle school. No, sorry, in high school. The term is Christianese, right? She speaks fluent Christianese, right? Meaning she has a Christian background. She grew up in the church, so she knows how to say the proper Christian things to lure in the average Christian simp normie uh lame, I mean people following. Oh, he said Garrett said it's still up. Her OnlyFans is still up. He said no accountability. No, of course no accountability. And also what men we got to stop doing is because I've stopped doing that a while back. I don't expect accountability from women. Like you can literally show a DNA test, and the DNA test will show that she's cheating, and she will still say run it back. She'll still say run it back. She won't even say sorry. Did you guys watch what happened with Kirk Franklin's mother? They did the DNA test, and they were just like, look, the man that you said was Kirk Franklin's father clearly was not the father. What do you have to say about this? And she was like, no, I don't care what this says. This has to be a mistake. And you're just like, ma'am, it's the DNA test is right there. Right. And even after that, she started crying. She still didn't admit what she was wrong. What she ended up saying, she was like, is this going to make a wedge between us? Meaning, what she was trying to say to her son, are you going to cut me off financially? Look, when we talk about accountability, women don't need accountability to move up in this world. Women don't need accountability to still be considered successful. They don't. Accountability and women are like I wish I had more soccer fans on my channel because I have the perfect analogy. I have the perfect analogy. I have the perfect analogy, but I'll still explain it to you. So does anybody know who this guy is? Okay. Anybody know who this guy is? This is Arjen Robben. This is one of the best soccer players of all time. Now, anybody that knows what soccer players are, or basically you have certain attacking players, right? That are left-footed. Now, left-footed soccer players are notoriously known to never use their right foot. I'm talking about ever. But for some reason, people cannot stop them. They'll always use their left foot. Messi, we already know Messi's going to use his left foot. But particularly Arjen Robben, he would never use his right foot to play. And he's still, I'm talking about one of the greatest wingers of all time, still couldn't be stopped. In his prime, in his prime, he could not be stopped. Arjen Robben was like super fast. I'm talking about even in his early 30s, still ridiculously fast for his age. One of the best soccer players of all time. I'm talking about most fullbacks can't stop him, but everybody knew he was going to go on his left foot. Everybody knew he was going to go on his left foot, but they still couldn't stop him. Accountability for women is like Arjen Robben's right foot. It's almost like saying, okay, what is Arjen Robben's weakness in soccer? Using his right foot. Duh. You know what I mean? So saying Arjen Robben's weakness is his right foot is irrelevant because he didn't really need to use his right foot to be successful. That's how I look at women in accountability. This is why I'm so infirm in a firm of like I advocate for paternity tests, DNA tests, because women are always going to put themselves in a position to where they make themselves the victim, where they can be in the mix, but without putting their full. They're always going to be in a position where they don't have to put any skin in the game, but still reap all the benefits. That's how I look. Because so when we're, going, where we're going, man, women never take accountability. They don't need accountability. They don't need it. This is why I always say, whenever you're going to a certain country that has full patriarchy, I'm talking about patriarchy ranks supreme, you need to go into that country and follow status quo. You better not bring that American stuff. You got to keep it, whatever country you're going into, you got to keep it patriarchal. you gotta keep it patriarchy centered because we talk about accountability in women. That's not gonna happen because even when they're like guilty, they're not gonna take the accountability. He said, even Kirk Franklin's mom. Yep. That video was funny. Oh man. That video was funny. I
I've seen
never
it.
I never did a reaction video to it, but that was hilarious. Because like they're literally Kirk Franklin's like, look, this is your chance to finally come out clean. And even the loud talking aunt that was next to Kirk Franklin's mom's sister, even she was like, look, Kirk needs to know the truth. And even still, nope, nope.
Anything. But the devil will give you these things that trip you up and money in front of your face and these worldly friends, your family that doesn't isn't there for you, but don't be discouraged because God has a better plan for your life. And let me tell you, I have felt and started living that plan. And since then, the money, the fame, the Gucci, Louis, whatever bags, the shoes, the clothing, the huge trips that I've taken doesn't matter because at the end of the day, do you want to go to heaven or do you want to go to hell? And my soul, I'm sorry, but it's not worth going to hell for at all. And God loves you so much that he's willing to give you everlasting life. You need to understand that your life.
Yeah, then she just basically starts preaching, lightweight preaching, speaking fluent Christianese. Oh, I lost my train of thought on that. That Christianese thing. This is a term that I picked up in high school, from a liberal, too, from a liberal, where he said she speaks fluent Christianese, meaning she knows the lingo, she knows what to say about how to apply that talk to pull in the average Christian normie to make them believe what they're saying. Yeah, I picked that up from a liberal when I was in high school. Oh man. Anyways, you said never forget. Um but yeah, you got these dudes, like it's a lot of dudes on there basically praising this girl. You know what I mean? She's clearly scamming. You know what I mean? It's not even a debate. But I remember seeing that, but when she had gotten baptized, basically, and I remember basically the whatever podcast, they were basically posting that and saying, boys, we did it. We did it. And I'm like, you really think she's being genuine about I'm like, this is the same girl. This was the same girl that was on that podcast talking about how men are stupid. You know what I mean? They're so easy to take advantage of and all this nonsense. And you're just like, and by the way, when we talk about incels and whatnot, this is what I wanted to get into. They did like a study and they found out that, and I knew it. I knew it. They did a study. They found out that 90% of the men with um OnlyFans account are married men. Now, I wasn't shocked that most men that are patronizing the OnlyFans girls were married. That wasn't a shock. I was shocked that it was 90%. I was like, let me be nice. I would say 60 to 70%. That's what I was thinking. 60 to 70% were married, man. Because I'm thinking about if you talk to the average sex worker, they'll tell you most of their customers are married men. But 90% of the patronizers of OnlyFans girls are married men. And I knew, and like, I was shocked that it was 90% though. I was trying to tell people for the longest on my Instagram. I was trying to tell people for the longest. People be talking about the virgin men and the incels. God, the young virgin incel men, they're not paying these OnlyFans. They're not even the money that these OnlyFans girls are making, the money that sex workers are making. This money can only be gained through men that have uh what they call it, discretionary income, right? Young men don't have that kind of money. They're the money that they're making, they're not even trying to get into relationships. So they're just watching the free porn, right? And then the money that they make, they're taking that money. They're not putting that into OnlyFans broads. They're putting that into 2K VC and Fortnite bucks and stuff. They not spending that money on no OnlyFans 304. I don't know why people could not put two and two together on that end. They talk about how young men are not doing anything. They're less ambitious. They're not spending money on hoes. But at the same time, OnlyFans girls are making all this money. Clearly, it's the married men that are patronizing them. And on top of that, when you look at the percentage of sexless marriages, it makes sense when you also look at the sex workers. Also, if you talk to sex workers, they'll tell you most of their customers are married men. But for some reason, people could not put two and two together on that end. You know, they still could. Yep, 90%. 90%. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that real quick for you. 90% of spenders are married. Exactly. So right here, I gotta find, because that was my original tweet right here. Basically, they found this is let me see right here. I don't know if this is, because I don't know if I can find an article on that. But they basically found out that 90% of the male users, of the male OnlyFans users, were married. Right here. Research from the Archives of Sexual Behavior found that the typical users of OnlyFans is white, 68%. Wow. That's not shocking. Actually, that's not shocking. And married, 89%. Male, 63%, and heterosexual, 59%. So those are not shocking statistics. So the archives of sexual behavior, anybody that doesn't know what that is, but they found that the typical user of OnlyFans, 70% of those guys are white, and 90% of the guys in total. Sorry, not, and then it's 90% of those people are married. So 90% of the men that are using that are registered OnlyFans users are married. So apparently this is an old statistic. This is an old statistic, which is that's interesting to me. That's very interesting. Because easy baby married men believe it's not cheating because there's no physical contact. But then on top of, like I said, what a lot of men are, because people don't understand, like, because people don't realize how much sexlessness that men are going through in their marriages. People don't know. This is what really, this is one of the main, this is also one of the main things that have fascinated me about the RP space. When they put me onto that in terms of the the amount of sexless marriages, I had no idea, bro. I'm talking about, I had zero idea. I was like, oh my God. So now, because now it makes sense what those older white dudes were talking about when I was growing up. When they're talking about, just be like, yes, dear. Or they'll be like, I'll hear like older white dudes when I was growing up, be talking with each other. Or when I was working at Home Depot and they'll be talking to me, it's like, I'm earning points. I got points with my wife. I'm like, earning points. Well, I'm like, what? I used to be like, huh. Like I never put two and two together. This is, you know, let me see. He said, so guys ripping on the young guys to find are using OnlyFans. That's what I said. And it's interesting. Those are the same dudes that are talking about we must get rid of porn and all this stuff. But like I said, we look at the people that are like I said, the people that are actually paying for the brazzers, right? Like brazzers you got to pay for, or the actual porn content that you got to pay for. Those are married men paying for that because they have to. They have to, right? Sex workers, sugar babies. A lot of sugar daddies are married. You know what I mean? And when you actually look at the statistics of sexless marriages, right? That is high. And then you need to also look at what's not considered a sexless marriage. And then when you look at the amount of times per month that a married man actually has sex with his wife that's not considered a sexless marriage, you'll be like, you're looking at the numbers and you're just like, yo, nah, hell no, hell no. This can't be real life. Just look up, you guys need to look up the numbers of that. It'll shock you. It'll shock you. Be like, and then on top of that, especially now, you'll have like these conferences because I've had a look at some of these women conferences, and you'll have the pastor's wife will literally be at the conference, and she'll be talking to the woman, and you'll be like, you guys do know you guys have to sleep with your husband, right? And the woman in the crowd will be like, man, I'm not like they'll literally be like, he doesn't own my body. they'll they'll be snapping at the pastor's wife, talking about he doesn't own my body and all this stuff. I'm it's so it all makes sense. This is why when you're seeing those TradCon women talking about we need to get rid of porn and Lila Rose, a lot of the time, what they're not telling you is they've caught their husband watching porn on many occasions, or they've seen certain charges on their credit cards that didn't add up, and then they done the investigation and they found out it went to another woman, or it went to another porn site, or it went to OnlyFans. They're not telling you that part. And what women want to ultimately do to ultimately what they want to do is they want to have control over when they're the men in their lives they bust nuts. They want to have the ultimate control over that, which is really evil to me in my opinion, especially if you're a woman, you're not regularly having sex with your husband like that. To me, if he cheats, that's not cheating if you're not doing your job as a woman. That's just my opinion. But most men are afraid to say this, but all the projection that these so-called tradcon men talk, when they're talking about these people making fun of the so-called young virgin incels, just kicking on these dudes, and they're literally not doing anything. They're doing nothing and they're still but really what it is, like I'm talking about, these tradcon girls are so afraid of AI girlfriends, and I'm like, how insufferable as a bitch you have to be if you're afraid of AI girl taking your man. How insufferable as a woman you have to be to your man. Or the people that are the women that are like, no, we got to get rid of porn. We got to get rid of the AI girlfriends in the sex box. Those are women that are not doing their job at home. Bottom line, those are the ones that advocate for it the hardest because they know. This is why I've been trying to tell these tradcon dudes, or dudes in general, you sticking up for these tradcon girls. They're not tradcon girls. They're just the Lila Roses of the world. For her to go on a rant saying that porn is the number one cause of divorce in America. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, bro, porn is saving most of these marriages in America. You people complaining about white boys shooting up schools now, you take away porn, what do you think is gonna happen? Hey yo, man, you're literally like, And I always say this, look at what the women are doing, how they're shaming the passport bros. Look, these are a group of men that women claim that they don't want. And we know that the women don't want them because they've been here, they don't want them. And they decide to go somewhere else. Where are you going? And not only that, they're following the passport bros to these places and spreading their BS. This is what it really is. People don't understand what it really is, man. Crabs in a bucket exemplify. But what happens is, well, this is what, because those guys, they don't want to be put in the same like they don't want to be seen as the guy that's sticking up for a virgin, or because like I said, women look at men that are virgins as losers. And the same, they look at the incels, they look at them as losers. So men don't want to be put in that same group. But I think that's cowardly of men to just to act like the incels are the problem. That to me, that's cowardly. I can't respect you as a man if you're talking down on people like this. Cause I know jocks, and I'm talking about like dudes that be swimming in pussy. They don't be talking down on those people like that. And here you got it'll be average normie dudes all up in my comment section calling me an incel, right? And then I'll look at their profile and they be looking crazy. I'll be like, I'm like, homie, I know you, please. I'm like, nigga, please, man. Homie, you ain't never even touched pussy. And they a lot of those guys are projecting, in my opinion. When you see like those guys, allegedly straight dudes on your comment section calling you an incel or calling you a misogynist, and you look at their profile and they be looking, I'm talking about, they be looking tripped out crazy. I know I'm not a good looking person, I understand that, but I'm talking about these people be looking crazy. I'll be like, I'm like, oh, you gotta pander. But for me, being part of the ninjadom kingdom, and playing music, being an athlete growing up, it has its perks. It has its perks. But you got a lot of these dudes, right? They've never really been celebrated by their peers. They've never accomplished anything when they were younger. You know what I mean? They never been part of a sports team. They never been a part of a club. They've never really, so they have to pander. They have to call other men incels and virgins and whatnot. They have to shame other men because they think that is going to help them in the pussy getting department. And I always tell men, you really don't have to do none of that. You really don't have to do any of that. But like I said, men are just you said maybe I'm slow, but what's a 304? Um so 304 is another term for hoe. So back in the days, teenagers would put on their calculators the numbers 304, and when you flipped it backwards, it would say hoe, right? So to get around the algorithm, because if you put hoe in your title, if you put hoe in your Instagram comments, if you put hoe in your the word hoe in your whatever, your Instagram can get taken. Trust me, that's happened to me a couple times in terms of my Instagram account being suspended just for writing the word prostitute and hoe. Um, your Instagram can get taken, your YouTube can get taken, you can get demonetized off YouTube if you say certain words. But so this is why men say 304. It's a code word for hoe. Oh damn, Rocky had explained it. Yeah. But really, at the same time, we use it to gain or get around the algorithm, because you can't start banning certain code numbers. Then that's when we've reached pure ridiculousness. They try to, like, if you even say like Chad or Tyrone, they start messing with your numbers too on that end too. That's what I found out. Just saying Chad and Tyrone, they've tried to make it like, this is why they've tried to make the incel community and the RP community try to merge it together. They do that on purpose so they can just we need to wipe out all misogynistic content. And the men in power are letting this happen. And on top of that, they're just like, who gives a fuck? We'll let them create laws which messes with the average man. They don't even give a fuck about us like that. Oh man. Let's oh, now that we're done with that, this is also what I wanted to get on. Let me see if I had anything else regarding that situation. I wanted to show you because these are the people they want to hold these people up in the air. Oh, I'll get to that story in a minute, but let me. Oh, I scrolled right past it. I scrolled right past it. So right here, Just Pearly things, mind you, this is Just Pearly. This is a person I don't respect, and um, I don't like her at all. And the reason why I don't like her because she lied about a lot of things that I made a video about that already. I don't want to keep going into it, but also the problem is when you mention RP or the red pill, this space, they automatically think, oh, Andrew Tate and Just Pearly things. And what the TradCons and the liberals, they like to pick on Just Pearly because she doesn't, all she does is repeat the talking points without being able to back it up. So she gets easily roasted when she goes on these debates because she's not a debater. All she does is repeats our talking points. She's not like the normies, they know what they're doing. They don't call uh uh a even a Myron Gaines. They don't even try to contact a Myron Gaines. They don't try to contact they don't try to contact a Coach Greg Adams or who else can I think of? Undead Chronic, a Hammerhand. Oh yeah. Any of the MGTOW, they stay clear from MGTOW creators because they're gonna get their ass roasted. We all saw what happened to Hafiz when he tried to coach us. He tried to debate Coach Greg Adams, a former MGTOW himself. I don't know if I can say he's former. Yeah, because he used to run off that MGTOW tag. But they stay clear from MGTOW creators, just in general, or people that sympathize with the MGTOWs. Anybody, you know what I mean? They stay because they know they cannot out debate these people. You know what I mean? They make sure they call Pearly things because she can't back up what she says. But I want you guys to pay attention to this particular interview where she's on Michael Nola's show, a very famous TradCon man, and he's gonna say something crazy. But I want you guys to pay attention.
There should be mandatory DNA testing at birth.
No.
I don't know why you. Okay,
because it's calling my wife a whore to do that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Why? Okay, so
because
women,
the assumption of first of all, mandatory, good grief, but the premise of it is that my wife is sleeping around.
Okay, so
I'm quite confident my wife is not sleeping around.
The woman feels icky for a little bit, but then
the man feels it. I would feel quite icky.
Wait. The woman feels icky for a little bit. Fine, maybe the man feels icky.
Certainly, he
but
it
prevents men from being put on child support and raising kids that aren't theirs.
You're saying
and if people want to opt out of it, fine, you can opt out.
So it's not mandatory.
But
it's voluntary. But there it is voluntary. Yes.
I think it would be better if it was mandatory. I think that's a better.
So then the men can opt out.
Oh my gosh! There should be mandatory DNA testing at birth.
Yep.
This is why what she's saying is facts, but this is why I don't like it when they bring up Pearly to debate because she really can't back up our talking points. We can. Because I will have to say that all I would tell Michael Nolas is this, because this is funny to me. Michael Nolas this is a funny ninja. Hold on for a sec. He said, "You saw the movie Her? The AI will take a TradCon sexless husband." Facts. They know this. This is why I be laughing when like these AI girlfriends. I'm like, you scared of an AI bitch taking your husband, or I mean, that means you ain't doing your job, nigga. That means you ain't doing your job. You ain't doing your job. Said Pearl and Tate are controlled opposition in these spaces. Exactly. This is what I believe. Pearl and Tate were controlled opposition. Now, technically, Kevin Samuels kind of was, but the reason why I leave Kevin Samuels alone is not because of his death, but because he actually was a great debater. I believe Kevin Samuels was probably the best in terms of women couldn't just call him on like women like women shows and like women center shows. They avoided calling Kevin Samuels on their show, like inviting him on a show to debate, because Kevin Samuels was the best at it. Because what people don't understand when you're debate, particularly when you are debating women, which you should not be doing anyway as a man, but when you are debating women, people think that as a man, by you using logic and reason to debate a woman, you already lost. People don't get this. Kevin Samuels was the best at basically letting a woman hang herself by just letting them talk, asking specific questions, making sure that they don't veer off, not letting them use sign language, not letting them just go off on their own. Then he'll be like, nope, what's your dress size? How much you weigh? What's your income? How many kids you have? And then anytime they start, no, stay here. Don't interrupt me. That's what Kevin Samuels was really good at. So technically Kevin Samuels was kind of like that because Kevin Samuels was the guy that basically the algorithm allowed him to move up in the game. But what I liked about Kevin Samuels, that you couldn't just debate Kevin Samuels because he had all the facts, he had all the statistics, and he was very, very stringent, very disciplined on his game. He was like all the female shaming tactically that did not work on Kevin Samuels, and this is why a lot of black men, particularly that are new in this space, look at Kevin Samuels like he's a god, because they just never. A lot of black men literally grew up never seeing a black man winning a debate against a black woman. So Kevin Samuels was probably like the first black man they ever seen win like a talking match or win a debate with a woman. But like I said, as a man, you're not even supposed to be debating with women at all anyways, but that's just my opinion. But this is why I always give Kevin Samuels a bit of a pass. And on top of that, I always knew of Kevin Samuels because I followed O'Shea Duke Jackson for like since I think since 2017, or 2016, I've been following O'Shea Duke Jackson, and O'Shea Duke Jackson had a lot of people under him that I knew about. So it's just so I always give Kevin Samuels a pass on that end, and that he was a very good role model for black men to look up to. But Pearlie and Tate, that's what you call controlled opposition. But now let's get into what Michael Nolan said, talking about, oh, I'm just confident the kid is, or I'm just off like what Michael Nolan, he's saying something that a woman would say. It's reverse. It's in reverse. Here you have a woman saying we should have mandatory paternity testing, and you have a man saying, nah, I don't know, or I'm calling my wife a whore. No, it's not about that. I mean, bruh. Like, I always say this because I don't even want to bring up the facts about the 30% or what we talk about child support, signing your name on the certificate and whatnot. And on top of that, Michael Nolan's here. This is why he called Pearlie to debate about this stuff, because he could just talk over her, make her look stupid, and because she's a woman. So that's why he did that. That's why Hafiz, after he got that roasting by Coach Greg Adams, he went and had a debate with Pearl literally the next day. They just wanted to beat up on a woman. That's a whole nother story for another day. Anyways, Forget all that. I like to give people a visual representation. I'll be like Michael Knowles. All right, I'll call your bluff. We don't need mandatory paternity testing. Fine. Now, Michael Knowles, what happens when the kid hold on. I got you guys. I'm gonna give you a nice visual right here. Oh man. Hold on for a second. Oh man, I got you guys. You guys gonna be laughing like a motherfucker. You guys gonna be laughing. You guys are gonna be crying laughing when you see this. Now, Michael Knowles, I have this to say. You talk about, oh, we don't need mandatory paternity testing. I know it's my kid and all this stuff. Oh, I'm just calling my wife. Okay, I'll call your bluff. Fine. Now, what if the baby comes out looking like this? Out of your white wife. What are you going to say then? You going to still sign that birth certificate, brother? That baby comes out looking like this. You going to keep that same energy? Look at my son that I didn't have to take a paternity test on. This is my son. Are you still gonna have that same energy? I fucking doubt it. Because I know how you TradCons think. I know what gets your attention. Anytime. Because I know you're not signing that birth certificate if that baby come out looking like this. But at the same, like you said, no paternity test. This comes to now where I really have to call into the integrity of the TradCons, right? Red Pilled Luffy on Twitter, he said this. He said something very controversial, but I believe him. He said a lot of men, he said, I believe even most men, I think they would not mind, they don't really actually mind being cucked as long as the baby is the same skin tone. And I was like, you know what? I think I agree with this. Because the amount of virtue signaling I've seen from traditional conservative men when it comes to paternity testing, I'm like, are you guys serious? But I've seen it, but particularly Caucasian TradCon men, I like to pick at them at this. I'm like, so okay, you're not gonna push for paternity testing, but at the same time, they're pushing into laws. Oh, we got to give pregnant women what they say, we got to give them child support starting at the pregnancy. I'm like, without a paternity test? But I know good and damn well they're not taking care of a baby if it comes out looking like that. I know that. I know they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. But like I said, if you really standing on what you say, it should be no biggie. You know, you don't need a paternity test, right? But I know that first of all, Michael Knowles, if that happened to him, he's gonna kill his wife. This is what happens. You got these blue pill dudes, right? Particularly the TradCons, who people mistakenly consider them RP aware. And they do the virtue signaling, just like liberals do the same virtue signaling, all that shit until ninjas start hitting up they bitch. Or like you'll hear like the stories of the guys that thought their wives were good people and whatnot, that all of a sudden the baby comes out my skin color, and they're just like, what in the hell? And it's just like the reality kicks in real quick. Your girl belongs to the fucking streets. I don't care where she come from, what family, bruh. So this man, I knew you guys were gonna like that. I'm telling you, if his baby comes out looking like this, he's gonna kill his wife. This is the problem. He's gonna kill his wife if his baby comes out looking like that. I know these blue pill people. I know how these people work. Guys, here I am. I'm trying to help these ninjas out. We got a woman on here. This is going against her biological imperative. Mind you, I'm not a fan of pearly things at all. And she's like, bro, we need mandatory paternity tests. And here you have this dude here, virtue signaling. Here again.
I don't know why you. Okay,
Because it's calling my wife a whore to do that. I mean, it's
Why?
ridiculous.
why? Okay, so
Because
women,
the assumption of the man.
So right here, just by him saying that, and I'll be like, no. I'll be like, when in history have men? I'll just literally just say this: why did men request virginity at marriage? Why did they do that? Because that was literally the only way that that was not really a clear-cut way, but that was the only way they can determine paternity, meaning they can know, okay, the kid that's I'm the first person to have sex with her. So the likelihood that the kid coming out that she ends up being pregnant with is going to be my kid. That was the only way they could ensure it. So much so they would literally get the virgin girls back in the day, right? They would be high. I'm talking about kings would literally buy the virgins, have them guarded by eunuchs, big men with their dicks cut off. That's how much that was so important to make sure the kid coming out is theirs. But there was no, but still, that's still not really a guarantee. That's still not no guarantee because you don't know with the DNA. Now that we have the technology, the DNA, why can't we put men's mind at ease and just make it look mandatory paternity testing? But then you got simps like this guy still doesn't understand that.
First of all, mandatory, good grief. But the premise of it is that my wife is sleeping around.
okay, so the
No, because first of all, I know women that have said, look, after what happened to me, finding out that my dad wasn't mine, I told my husband, look, every kid that I have, I'll give you a paternity test. And they do. Because it's about putting the man's mind at ease. But it's interesting when it comes to paternity tests, right? It doesn't matter if the girl is a TradCon, if she's a liberal, if she's a Muslim, they be scared of that paternity test thing, bro. I don't know what it is, bro. And the most uh 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 um fight back that I've gotten about this paternity test thing is from TradCon women, supposedly traditional women. Those are the people that have gotten the most fight back from when it comes to this paternity thing. I shit you not. I've talked to two feminists, and they don't mind this. They think that there should be mandatory paternity testing. Feminists, but you'll talk about TradCon women. You know what I mean? It's just I'm like, and first of you're just like, wow. You're just like, wow. It just shows you that women be sleeping around and way more than people want to admit or care to, because look, if you're not a woman that sleeps around, it should not be a problem. Women have no problem going out of their way to prove a man right. But when it comes to paternity tests, I'm talking about they'll go out their way to prove that they're right, or if a man accuses them of something, they'll hold it on them. So why don't you relieve everybody's doubts? Paternity test. Just do it. And people say, and there's another group of crowd of the RP, like people that follow fuck, I forgot his name. But this old dude with the white hair, he just said he tells men just take the swab and just do it without the women knowing. And you can do that, but the reason why I advocate for mandatory paternity is because people don't know that once you sign that birth certificate, you're beat. So before you sign that birth certificate, it'll be nice if normie men can have that option. You know what I mean? The same way that normie women have the options to kill their kid, can at least the normie men have the option to find out if the kid is even his? I mean, damn.
quite confident my wife is not sleeping with her.
The woman feels icky for a little bit, but then
The man feels I would feel quite icky.
Wait. The woman feels icky for a little bit. Fine, maybe the man feels icky.
Certainly.
But this is where Pearl made a mistake by addressing how a woman would feel. No. We don't give a fuck about none of that. We don't give a fuck about none of that. This is where you got to stick with the facts and just be on the facts and be like, look, Michael, I'm talking. Let me address the facts of this issue. Then I will allow you to talk. But this is why they bring people like Pearl on here, because they know Pearly cannot debate. They know Pearly cannot debate. And look, women are easily put off if you're literally overbearing on them. You know what I mean? So, and Pearly is not exempt from that. This is why I don't want her being the face or the RP. Like, I remember when she was rising up the ranks in terms, she started really getting famous and people were calling her the queen of the RP. And I was like, guys, don't do this. Particularly, it was black men that were giving her so much praise. And I was like, you guys are the worst. I was like, y'all be exalting these people. Samantha Lee Gibson, Melanie Kings, who else? Allie Drummond, who else? All these people, y'all be pulling up in the air, man. Sorry, I had to have a sip. This is ridiculous, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway.
It prevents men from being put on child support and raising kids that aren't theirs.
You're saying
and if people want to opt out of it, fine. You can opt out.
So it's not mandatory. But it's voluntary. But there it is voluntary. Yes.
Now, Michael Knowles, what he's doing is something I had to deal with when I was growing up. A debating tactic by just inserting things that don't make sense. You know what I mean? That's just irrelevant from the point. Right here.
So it's voluntary, but there it is voluntary. Yes.
I think it would be better if it was mandatory. I think that's a better.
So then the men can opt out.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the point. Nigga, mandatory. Just they take it. Now, like I said, guys like that, I believe, man, I didn't save that tweet from Red Pill Luffy, but he said men don't mind being cucked. He said most men don't mind being cucked as long as the kid is the same skin tone as him. And I believe that. I'm really starting to believe because I know good and damn well he would not have this same reaction if his kid came out looking like this. I know he wouldn't. I know he wouldn't. And that woman's life would be in danger. Michael Knowles' wife would be in danger, bro. Because you need to stand because now I would tell Michael, if that happened to him, I'd be like, no. You gotta sign that birth certificate. I don't want you taking no tests. But nope. You gotta stand on what you said. This is your baby now, Michael. This is your baby. You're gonna raise it in the name of the Lord. You gotta stand on what you say, brother. You got to stand on what you said. So Pearl says, do you understand how harmful it is to a child to find out halfway through their life that their dad is not their dad? Not only do mandatory DNA tests protects the fathers, but also the child. The facts are more important than your wife's feelings. But like I said, these so-called TradCon men that be now they're dunking on the RP sphere. But that, like I said, they need to go through something traumatic like this, because there's been plenty of white dudes that been through that. They're in the military. For some reason, they think their wife is faithful. They're on the day of the delivery, that baby be coming out looking like Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco. And then they're just like, just the shock. But I think that is going to have to happen to men in terms of, so men can understand why we push that. Because if you sign the birth certificate, you're on the hook on that kid, even if it's not yours. This happens to a lot of men. All right. So you like you they don't realize this. Hold on for a second. Let's see if I can find another. What else I was gonna go over before I sign off? What else? Oh, also, people need to look up the story of Merlin Santana. That I am going to do a video of what happened to this man too. I'm gonna do a video on that guy. Texas man. No. No. Right here. So this is what happened right here. Because I need particularly people wonder why I don't the white supremacists coming out, or the so-called white supremacists, right? The self-proclaimed white supremacists, or the self-proclaimed white nationalists, right? That you see on Twitter, I'm not worried about them because they're very behind. They're very slow. Meaning they don't like they'll or even the traditional white conservative men. They are very slow. They have I don't think they really understand what's going on in the dating marketplace. So they say certain things, right? So anybody that knows the story of Kaylee Gain, this is the girl, right? That got her head smashed in. I think she's still in the hospital. I think she's still in a coma. This was the girl that got her head caved in by that black girl. And it went viral because it was a group of black kids, and it was that one white girl that got her head bashed in, right? And the white the white conservatives and the white nationalists were all up in the comment section talking crazy, saying that she's a victim, giving her money in her GoFundMe and whatnot. And I found it interesting at the time because hold on for a sec. He said, damn, when the feminists agree with the paternity test more than TradCons. Yeah, I even know some feminists that actually say like where basically men should have the option to opt out of child support. I was surprised the people that agree with me on that is surprising. It's surprising the people that agree with me on certain things. You'd be surprised because really what I'm speaking on, it's really should be common sense. If the woman has the freedom to kill the kid at need be, why does the man like not have the choice to not be there? A woman can literally have birth with the kid, abandon it at a fire truck, at a fire station, police station, orphanage, and the woman will be praised for doing that. But anyway, like TradCon men even are afraid to say that. This is why I be because to me the TradCon men and the male feminists on the liberal side, they're one and the same, in my opinion, because women in general, they kind of already know how pathetic the male feminists are, so they're not a threat to me. They're not a threat, really. But the TradCon men, what they think they're based. You know those people that be like based in the comment section. They're not based. Trust me, they're not based. And you saw it with this story. You saw it with this story because you had a lot of people in that same group when that girl was getting her head caved in. People talking about, man, look at all these black people. This is why we have to stay separate and all this stuff. You had the white nationalists going crazy, say we got to protect our women from this debauchery and all this stuff. And I'm like, guys, I was looking at that situation when that happened. I was like, I'm pretty sure both of those girls were fighting over a ninja. I'm pretty sure they were fighting over a ninja. And I'm like, a girl like that, Kaylee Gain, whatever her name, because when I looked at her profile, I was like, she looks like she has a black boyfriend. And people don't understand, like, it's 2024. Like, you can't be shocked if you're seeing a white girl with a black boyfriend or a black girl with a white boyfriend, a black girl with an Asian dude, Asian girl with a white dude. Well, I see that a lot, but but like you still got like the white nationalists or the pro blacks still on this keep thing. We got to keep the race pure. Nigga, it's too late for that. It's too late for that. But anyway, the white nationalists and the white conservatives were going ham on the ninja community and going to bat for the girl. I'm talking about really going heavy. We're gonna protect our woman and all this stuff. And I'm like, homie, you don't even know. Y'all don't even know who she is. I'm like, this girl like 14, 15 years old. What are you talking about? Then it came to light that Kaylee had a Jamal boyfriend. It came to light that Kaylee had a Jamal boyfriend. So once the white nationalists and the white conservatives found out that she had a black boyfriend, they switched up on her. Like, I'm talking about they switched up on her, bro. They were just like, oh, she got what she deserved. Oh, never mind. And I'm just like, so you never even cared about the girl. You never even cared about her health, whether she's in a coma, whether she's gonna survive. You just wanted to. It was just another way to virtue signal, because they think that we like they really think this is a viable dating strategy. Shitting on ninjas. Like, you got, like, when I talk about racism is just another dating strategy. When you hear white dudes talking about black dudes, like, if you'll see like an Instagram couple, them kissing, it'll be a black dude and a white girl, and you got all the dudes in there, the so-called based Christian. It's mostly white Christians in there talking about this is an abomination. It's mostly white conservative Christians, males. They still think you can shame women into dating who they need to be dating. And I'm like, homie, that women have full choice on who they're dating nowadays, right? They think this is still a viable dating strategy by shaming white women from dating black men. Or on the other side, like, pro black men are so hurt when they find out how much black women be actually fucking with white dudes, or when they find out the statistic that out of all the interracial couples, white men and black women last the longest. Pro black men be hurt when you bring that up. They be hurt, and I'll be like, guys, you can't. And it just shows you that a lot of dudes that were pro black, or the dudes that were pro white, they're just using it as a dating strategy. It's just a dating strategy, right? Me and Lorette would have the conversation when we talk about TradCon girls now going on Fox News complaining about men competing in women's sport. It's Lorette basically put me onto the game. She said it's a dating strategy by the TradCon women, so they can put themselves in position as one of the quote unquote good girls. It's a dating strategy, because that's so. I took that logic, and now I'm using that logic onto everything, and now I'm really seeing things clearer. It's just a dating strategy. When you're seeing our black dudes saying, "Oh, the woman's only the black woman's only for the white man just because he has money," that's a dating strategy. Trying to act like, or when you hear a black dude saying to another black dude, "Oh, he can't handle all that," that's a dating strategy. That's just a dating strategy. Now, I'm just gonna stick to the white conservative men in this instance, or the white nationalists in this instance. They still think because the white nationalists, they're very slow. They still think they're still using the same shaming tactics from like the 60s and the 50s and 40s, and they're like, why isn't this working? Why aren't the women coming back to us? you're just like, bro, I don't know bro, like that's not gonna work. And that's not gonna work. Hold on for a second. Let me check some of these comments. Yeah, he said many men would rather be lied to instead of having their fairy tale broken. He said the black pill ironically disproves the white genocide conspiracy theory. You know, you know that's what I'd be saying, man. Like, and like I said, these will be the same people. But also another thing, like you'll be in the comments section, and this is why I made that video why I said it's really hard for black men. Like they can, I'm talking about I said in that video on the interracial thing, I'm shocked that black men are top 2 in terms of dating preferences for women worldwide. Even in America, some places in America, black men are number 1. I'm surprised because the propaganda, the media propaganda, the laws that white men have created in the past to make sure black men aren't dating their women. I'm surprised that black men are even number 2 in terms of dating preferences. I'm surprised. You know, this is why I always, but what white men don't understand is this. This is what they don't understand, that are still in the comments. What this is a message basically for those allegedly based dudes in the comment section of interracial couples comment section. The more you make a particular individual, right? If you are a man and you're making a certain man the boogeyman, you're making him the bad guy, the more attractive you're making him for women. Let me repeat it again. If you have a daughter and the more you're telling the daughter, stay away from that guy, he's bad, you can't be away, you are making him more attractive to the woman, right? Anybody that understands women knows this. Women are like thing 1 and thing 2 from Cat in the House, from Cat in the Hat. You had thing 1 and thing 2, and thing 1 and thing 2, there were characters in Cat in the Hat. They would do the opposite of what you told them to do. So we already know how teenage girls work. We know how college girls work. The more you say, this is the bad guy, this is the boogeyman, and this goes for the pro blacks too as well. This goes for the pro blacks as well. The more you make, oh, the white man owes me reparations, the white man is evil, or stay away from black man, you're gonna be a single mom if you deal with him. The more you're actually pushing your daughter into that man's hands. Like I gave this I gave he said, yeah, the white man is number 1 worldwide. That's why I do not get why it'll be white dudes in these I'm like, you guys are number 1 worldwide for dating preferences. I'm like, but like I said, even me at this age, I underestimate how much white men love their white women. I underestimate it. Like for example, as a black man, I have no problem dating out. Me as a black dude, and many black men will convert. Me as a black, I have no problem dating out. like I'm not saying I don't like black women, because there was a time that I was primarily dating black women, but look, man. look, man. I have no problem dating Latina, Asian. You know what I mean? When we talk about the prettiest girls I've ever seen in real life, I would say probably the prettiest girls I've seen is somebody that's either a mix of black and Asian, or I remember I saw an Asian girl I'd be seeing some of these Asian girls, I'd be like, oh my God. But Latinas are usually what unfortunately I'd be flocking to a lot. I've dated some white girls, right? But I have no problem dating out. But I'm like, I don't know why they be in the comment section in interracial couples, particularly when it comes to black men and white women. They be all up in the comment section talking crazy. I'll be like, bro. I'll be like, bro, you as men, women outnumber us. If you paired up every man, especially now when you're looking at the rate that women are aborting male kids, it's so much pussy out there, bro. If you're having a problem with your community, start dating somebody from another city. If you have that, try another state, try another country. Like there's men don't have to do stuff like this anymore. You know what I mean? This is what I don't get. So now let me bring up the let me see some of these comments first, and then I'm gonna bring out the big point here. It said black, Asian, whoever will date out, but the majority will stick with their own. Yeah, this is a fact. So like the majority of black men will actually they prefer to be with black women, even if they're a single mom, which is like for me, that's crazy. For me, that's crazy. Like, but when I talk about there is a particular black men like that guys like me, like the outcast or whatever. I don't mind, like guys like me, I don't mind. Like I don't mind. There are plenty of expats overseas of all races, you know what I mean? And they're living their best life. But this whole loyalty to the race thing, I don't get it. I'm talking about for the black men and white men. I don't get it. I don't get it. He said they made Satan the devil the bad guy. So now you got a bunch of people into the occult now. Exactly. The more you people don't get how this works. The more you make that whatever the boogeyman, the more women are gonna flock to it. Ariana Grande said the realest advice. She said if you're a woman, she said she gave advice to the ladies. She said if you want to decrease your ex-boyfriend's market value, just say how good of a person he is. He said just praise him, say that he did nothing wrong, just things didn't work out between us, but he was perfect, he was great, he was so nice, say how nice he was. But here's a double-edged sword. Most women are not going to say that about their ex because they can't put themselves as the victim. So most women are not going to take that advice. But Ariana Grande, that was one of the realest things she's ever said, because the more you say how toxic your ex was, how narcissistic and how he was the more you're actually raising him up in the air for women to test him. That woman, then when women are seeing you complain about your ex, they're going to get curious. They're going to get curious. He said, take it from me, all women are the same, just different shades. This, and mind you, guys, Angel, this is I don't want to put your, I don't know if you don't mind, because I remember how old you said you were. Do you mind putting your age there? just for the young people in the chat, because they really think that like this whole loyalty to the race, I'm not like me. I want to see black people do well in general. I'm speaking honestly. I want them to do well. I want them to graduate, right? I want them to own businesses and all that stuff. But when it comes to me, I'm talking about me personally. I don't care. Like I'm my own man. Like I don't want to be limited to be put in a box. That's just me. And when it comes to women of all races, it's the same. Trust me. Just different. It's the same. Oh man, it's the same, man. I cannot say white women are better than black women, black women or black women are better than white women, Asians are. I can't do that. From what I've observed from women, I can't do that. Just objectively looking at them, I can't do that. Like I said, when it comes to the paternity testing, it's interesting. If I put a pie chart of the demographics, right, when it comes to skin, race, you'll see it all over the place. Because real and the actuality of the situation, right is right, wrong is wrong. And people with real empathy There's no race attached to it when it comes to empathy, when it comes to these basic things. And most women do not have the empathy to be like, yeah, we need mandatory paternity test. Telling you. The forbidden fruit theory. You see, Usher said, and he got his award and said, all due praise to the devil. He lost me. Did he say that? But like it's Hollywood though. The Hollywood. Yeah, so Angel's 58 years old. Yeah, that's I didn't want to put him out there yet. But he's 58 years old and he's telling you guys they're all the same. Just different, and especially Angel's from New York City. So it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. Enough said. Enough said. Hispanic, and Angel is a Hispanic male. But like I said, I'll say this: I didn't know how, like, pro black dudes, they be mad when I bring that up. When I bring up how out of all the interracial couples that work, white man, black woman, they last the longest. Which I keep trying to tell people is not about. People think keeping a woman is not what you think it is, bro. But they get or a lot of black dudes, what happens with a lot of black dudes, they'll be afraid. Like, it's okay if you're a black dude and you say, I prefer light-skinned women. It's okay. It's okay. Trust me, it's okay. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But they're afraid of basically looking like a colorist. But I'm like, dude, I know plenty of black women. If a bunch of white dudes came around, they are not afraid to say they like white dudes. So don't be afraid to say, look, I prefer this. I prefer that. But a lot of black men, the stuff that they say that they prefer, they say that out of fear of being looked as a quote unquote colorist. And I'll be like, you guys got to stop acting like bitches, bro. Say what you like. If you like white girls, say that. If you like Asian, if you like Pacific Islander, have at thee. Don't be afraid to say. Don't be afraid to to uh go after what you want. I don't. This is for the life of me. I don't get black men when it comes to this stuff. I'm talking about I'm talking about they'll go to the abyss just to prove their black loyalty. I'm like, homie, there ain't no there's none of that. But anyway, let's go back to this guy. So here we have Jason Kessler, who's he calls himself a white nationalist, a classic liberal white nationalist, right? And he this is how you know a lot of white conservatives, a lot of traditional white conservatives and white nationalists, this is how you know they're out of touch with reality. This is what she says. This is what he says here. He says, Kaylee Gain, the white teen who had her head bashed in the pavement, and her black boyfriend. He said this. This is what he said. He said, we're going to need a complete shutdown of white women until we can find out what the hell is going on. So I'm like, now he's saying this. So this is what I mean. A lot of those guys, they're slow, meaning when we talk about TradCon men, right? When we're talking about white nationalists, and there's a lot of black people that be afraid of the white nationalists and the and these people. And I'm like, you don't have to worry about those guys. They're very behind. They're very behind. Like, meaning those same guys, they have no idea what those white girls are doing once they go on college campus. I mean, like, they have no idea. They have no idea that the true body count. When I tell dudes 20 is actually a low body count for today's women. That's like a low body count. Even in the past, if you're talking to a 30-year-old woman that with a 20 body count, that's actually low. people be shocked when I say stuff like this, or when I say stuff like this, they'll say, "Oh, I'm justifying it." I'm like, bro, where the hell have you guys been? Are you guys actually pay attention? Do you guys really be believing these women when they say they only have a 3 body count? It's always 3, 2, 1, 5, 7. It's always gonna be a number. You don't people think it's smart to ask a girl for a body count. You don't ask a girl for her body count. You're gonna know. Anybody with experience is gonna know. But unfortunately, you have a generation of men and even men in the past, they don't know. They have no. I'm like, guys, do the math. You really think a girl you're gonna find a girl that's 28 years old, right? Who's been in the sexual market since she was 14 years old. I'm being nice with that number. 14, 15 years old. I'm being nice with that number. So she's been in the sexual marketplace for 10 plus years. And you think in those 15 years, you think she's gonna have less? I'm talking about that. You think she's gonna have less than 10 people? That would be only one body per year. You think women are only in today's age are only having one body per year? When you're looking at the sexlessness of younger men going down, but STIs are still rising amongst women. I mean, what, these guys really think that their daughters are still like, particularly white men. They think that their daughters are like angels. Like they think that they think their daughters are just angels. They're just going to college and having a most of those liberals that you see that turn into full Marxists, these girls, a lot of them, I would say most of them came from traditional or normie households from the suburbs. They had a father in the house, but they still turn into liberal because they're getting indoctrinated once they get on campus, and then they go through their phases, their phase, whatever. Guys, 20 is a low body count, bro. People be shocked when I say this. I'm like, he said, I'm 41 and never had a real girlfriend. I've never, like me personally, I've never had a steady girlfriend. What I have is situationships, I want to say, but I've never committed to like me. I've never committed to like one woman. I can never say I could never look a girl in the face and be like, look, it's just gonna be you. So I've never even be like, put a restriction, you know what I mean, on a woman. Like but yeah, I've never said this is my I've never met a girl that said this is my number one girl. I've never done it. Now, for some reason, when you say that you've never had a girlfriend, people just assume that you've never had sex. I don't know why that is. Um, but like I said, most women are so used to men lying to them. So if they meet somebody like me, that doesn't make me like I'm not saying that doesn't make me an alpha male. I don't believe in all that alpha male and sigma stuff. That's just me. Like I've never felt the need to be like, okay, you're my number one girl. No, no, no. This is just how I operate because I just know how people operate, and I already know the way that I operate. I already know that I'm not that host like when women are expecting these good morning texts and all this stuff and they're expecting you to do this, expecting you to do that. I'll always tell girls up front, I'm probably not going to do that. And a lot of women, what they want you to do is that you need to fight for me. I'm not finna do all that. I'm not finna do all that. Look, if you gave me pussy in the past, I appreciate you, but I'll pitch in if you need some McDonald's or if you need your if you need an oil change or something, I'll give you some money for that. But I'm not. You know what I mean? So Angel says, my advice, date anyone despite race just to see who you really like. That's always my opinion for any man. I tell any man that's just date despite race. You know what I mean? I knew an old saying. I knew somebody said this when I was a young kid, but I'm starting to understand why he said it. Somebody said when I was a kid, basically, do not marry a woman with the same skin tone as you. That's what this person, this is a black man that said this. He said, do not marry a woman with the same skin tone as you. Do not basically get in a serious relationship with a woman with the same skin tone as you. That's what he said. Now, I kind of disagree because there are plenty of women that have my skin tone that I find very attractive. But I understand why there was a method to his madness. I understand why he said that. He said black women have been talking about. Oh, you talking about the divestment move. That's a whole different crew of people that I don't get them. I don't get them. I'll leave that alone for now. The Cynthia G crew. They don't even like those group, like you got like the new swirlers coming through. They're different. They're just they don't understand how things work. Those are, yeah. Rolando said, I like Latinas better. Then again, I'll go overseas for them. Here in the States, the Latinas act funny stuff. Yeah, the Latinas here, they act very aggressive at times. They, you know, they just unable to give you peace. I always say that. Like I remember when I was working at a place, she already wanted me to get involved in her shit. Like, I don't know what it. Maybe I'm scorned from it, but the Latinas that I know, yeah, they're great in bed, I guess, but eh, I don't think the stress that they bring is not worth it, bro. And the drama that they bring, where like they be setting your ass up to get killed and shit. Like, and they always have some extended family member, somebody that's always stalking them, always somebody's still stalking them. Talk about plus a Latina, they got a sexual past, bro. Like, especially you talking about a sexual, like, a Latina that's been in the game for a while. She got a past, like a real serious past. So, but I still be messing with them though. That's so. I'm afraid though to tell people what I prefer, like in terms of my fetish, because like I said, like when it comes to who, like if I'm gonna date somebody, meaning this, if I'm gonna make somebody like my wife, it's not gonna be in America. I'm gonna be going to a country where the divorce laws are not what they are. He said women have options. How the hell do you if you have just 8 to 12 body count as an able bodied woman, especially? Well, yeah. Told I was not bad look. He said, so I don't know because there's still like there's a lot of men, even 40 below, saying that look, I never even kissed a girl or I've never even had sex with a woman, right? But people don't even understand. But the people are talking about, oh, men are doing all the damage. No, it's only a certain percentage of men that are doing that are running through. And the Chads and Tyrones of today, they're basically lapping it up. Those practice squad, I'll keep telling you, those practice squad NFL players, those are the ones that are doing all the sweeping. They sweeping up, bro. Those G League players, those are the dudes that are really killing the game. Oh yeah, Latinas, they love dangerous men. Like, yeah. They literally, yeah. Oh man. I don't we could talk about like my preference. I like girls that like me back. That's my preference. But I really starting to realize that unfortunately I can't say that I have a type, but it's a fetish, and I'm ashamed to say what it is. I'm ashamed to say what it is, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll just say this. I'll be around, like, for example, like I'm usually around a lot of pretty white girls, blonde haired, all that, brunettes, but that's not my type, unfortunately. For some weird reason, and it's weird. It's weird. It's weird what I want from certain women. I want certain things, right? So it's sometimes. So it's yeah. You know what I mean? It's a Pacific Islander. Yeah, low key, those girls are underrated. And I still think like Asian girls in general are underrated. But I always say this: those girls that are mixed with black and Asian, the black and Asian mixed girls, underrated. Underrated. That's all. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But like I said, like when it comes to the white conservative, the white nationalists, they don't they really think this is a good dating strategy by talking crazy about black men on the internet. And I'm just like, you're literally like, bro, you think that's gonna get you pussy, bro? That might have get you pussy in the 50s or the 40s and the 30s. In 2024, that shit don't work. You know? Let me see if I got another video, but they really think that stuff works. And also, let me give you another story. I've said this before. Nick Saban's daughter. Nick Saban, out of all the ninjas that Nick Saban done had on his team, out of all the Negroes, out of all the Negro male players that Nick Saban done helped out, put money in their books, in their child support books, all the ninjas he done put in the NFL. His daughter, one of the few white players that ever played for Nick Saban. And people don't even understand why, how they'd be like, how does that even work? Because there's no mystery. There's no I'm pretty sure when Nick Saban's daughter was like 10, 11, 12 years old, he done seen Nick Saban have all these ninjas over at the house, them crying at Nick Saban's feet because they gave him some money for food stamp. Seeing them ninjas all up in Nick Saban's house and all that. I'm not saying she never had sex with a black dude, but I found it interesting that the only dude that she found interesting, like the only dude that she found interesting, was the only white dude on her team. And we already know that because Nick he's literally looking at these dudes like, okay, well, how can I? These guys are gonna help me out here. The mystery is gone, and on top of that, I'm pretty sure when Nick Saban's daughter was younger, she probably was afraid to bring a ninja home because she probably was afraid that her father was going to recruit him. So it was interesting. It was like the guy was considered the funniest dude on the Alabama team. That was the dude that she married out of all the ninjas. And people don't understand because there's no mystery. There's no mystery. If you take away the mystery, right? Like a lot of dudes will always, you find that out, like it'll be like a white girl, they'll date a black dude just to see how their father would think about it. Just to see how their father would think about it. Then they find out that their dad doesn't really care like that, and then they'll end up breaking up with the dude. Or the dude wants to take it to another level and they'll just be like, let me find somebody else. So these are the things that happen, you know. It says Southeast Asian and Islanders are underrated. That's what I be telling people, bro. The Southeast Asians, the Islanders, the Pacific Islanders, they're underrated. They're underrated. I think because you don't see a whole lot of them wearing like makeup like this, like you'll see. But I don't know. I done seen, women in Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? And they don't even be having a whole lot of makeup, but they be looking bad, bro. I'll be like, wow. This is another thing. People are very easily fooled by makeup, like easily fooled by makeup. Let me put this meme up here. I like this right here. I like this meme right here. But anyway, let me look through my Twitter, see if I see anything else. Let me see if I see anything else that I need to show you guys. Let me see. Oh, right here. Right here. So, like I said, I've said on this channel before, I keep telling you, the woman that I know, or the woman I grew up around, they all said 13 years old when they lost their V card. And I want you to see how many times this tweet was viewed. This tweet has 53 million views. 53 million views. 53 million views. And now what's interesting is you look at the amount of sexlessness amongst young men, but the STDs are spreading. So you're wondering, like, who are they having sex with? Older men. Even at 13 years old, yes. Unfortunately, yes. But like I said, they're not victims. they're not victims. You see, you have a man said here, y'all are victims, and then she goes, these are men that don't have a clue. And look, she said, he said child molestation, and she laughs. She laughs. So y'all, I keep telling y'all be going to bat for these 304s that they know they're not victims. They know it. Look, she's laughing. I keep telling y'all be. This is what, like, when I was a kid, right? When I was in high school, and I knew these girls that were doing that, and and people will know these girls, and we'll be like, are you sure you know what you're doing? And they will laugh at us, or if you're a dude that shows concern, they'll think you're a weirdo for showing concern. This is why I keep telling, stop going to bat for those young. I'm telling you, those girls at that age, they know what they're doing. I know people might think it's predatory for a man to say something. Yes, at 13, 14, 15 years old, yes, they know what they're doing when they're going out with these older men. I'm telling you, look at the reaction. They're like, so they're all saying you're a victim, but the women are literally responding back like, nah. With the hitting them simp ninjas with the laughing emoji. I keep telling you guys, stop sticking up for these 304. They know what I'm telling you, they know what they're doing. Men and women live different lives, especially when we're talking about sex. We live different lives sexually. Women start experimenting on that sexual attention that they garner once they hit that 10, 11, 12 years old. I'm sorry to say those age range, but once they hit 11, 12, they're experimenting, meaning they're trying to see how far they can go with the attention that they're getting. And if it means tagging along in a high school ride along when they're in middle school, right? With older ninjas, or being 13 years old, going in older men's cribs and stuff, doing what they do, selling tricks. They're experimenting at that time. But the problem is when you say this, people think you're a creepy for saying the truth. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, they're like, you guys are victims. No, they're not. I keep telling you. I even said, dude, I didn't save the post, but I remember it was a woman saying like, yeah, I remember when I was 15, I was doing all this nonsense and blah blah blah. And the one of the normie dudes commented, damn, that's sad that you didn't, man, you were too young to know what was happening and blah blah blah. And I responded back to the guy. I was like, no, she knew exactly what she was doing. And she responded back to me and said, no, you're correct. I was like, you see, she responded back. She didn't even respond back to the simp. I didn't even tag her. I responded to the simp. I'm like, no, she knew exactly what she was doing at 15. Stop it. She responded back to me. She said, no, you're right. I knew what I was doing. Oh shoot. Pyro's putting you up on game. Let me expand on that. He says same thing over here. I'm assuming Jamaica. He said the girls over here be effing it in the taxi and they be saying it's their uncle and I call cap. So that's another thing that when younger women will be with these older men, right? And they'll be saying, yo, that's my uncle or that's my cousin. A lot cousin, I'll be hearing that. Oh no, that's my cousin. Or they'll say that's their uncle. They'll say stuff like that, or that's my music teacher. All types of excuses to cover up. That's like their sugar daddy. And they'll be like 14, 15, 16 years old. 13 years old, a lot of them, and they'd be messing with a dude that's like 26 or 30 something. It's a lot of 16-year-olds that I knew that were already messing with guys in their late 30s. So this like they know what they're doing. This whole stuff about they were not victims, dude. Trust me on that. And I'm telling you guys. He says, this is why statutory rape does not exist. Most men are afraid to say stuff like that, Rocky. Most men are afraid to say stuff like that. Because when you look at the definition of statutory rape, but then I'll be like, but what if they both consent? And they'll be like, no, she's too young to consent. I'm like, you think 15 is too young to consent? Because I'm just saying, like, look, I done seen like they'll say, oh, they're too young to consent at 15, but they're not too young to reject you and make you look like a fool in front of everybody. That's how I look at it. I'm like, but you be rejecting certain people with the quickness, but you say yes to that. I don't know about all that. Trust me, these girls know what they're doing. At 13, 14, 15 years old, even as a boy, you as a man, there's certain things that you know, but when you're talking about women, they'll say in your face, look, we mature faster than you. We're smarter than you. But then at the same time, we're victims. No, women are very smart. This is what I say. I think women are smarter than men socially. I believe that because they be running the same plays and they know they can run the same plays, the same tropes. I was victimized. I was this, blah, blah, blah. And you can only and because they know most men are not willing to ask these questions. Like they'll talk like, or they'll talk like, say, even when it comes to single moms, they'd be like, my mom was a single mom, but she got abandoned. I'm like, so the dad abandoned yeah, and I'm like, okay, so was your mom and dad married? No. Okay, then I'll just be like, okay, where did your mom meet your dad? That's not the point. Okay, exactly. I'm like, exactly. Because you know good and damn well your mom met your dad, your player ass dad at the club. And you know good and damn well. She knew good and damn well she probably shouldn't have been messing with that dude, but she took the risk. And now thus you are here now. because your player ass dad had a a Jeep, a truck, whatever, a place with a very spacious back seat, and that's why you are here today. Now the narrative is, oh, he left, but a lot of them knew that they weren't going to be there in the first place, and if not that, they probably ran the guy away. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real here. They say 15 is too young to consent, but 16 you get a learner's permit. That's what. But like I said, it's like men are afraid to say this in public. Now, I'll say this. Yeah, people talk about, like, this is why I laugh when, particularly when young men talk about this is based. This is based. I'm like, nah. How many so-called based men are fuck it. Let's say this. How many so-called Jesse Lee Peterson fans, right, that were all up in my comment section when that news broke out about him, right? How many of those so-called Jesse Lee Peterson fans have the balls to say that there's no such thing as a deadbeat dad? How many so-called based Jesse Lee Peterson fans have the balls to say that? Most of them do not have the balls to say that. Trust me. All these guys have the balls to do is to virtue signal in front of escorts and porn stars and go on to whatever podcast and shame porn stars and try to bring Christ to the man. Stop. That's not based. That's just you virtue signaling to hoes. All right, man. Congratulations. You're better than the average street whore. I mean, bruh. Why don't we actually talk about why there's so many 304s now? Why don't we talk about the real problem? Why don't we talk about how, with the rise of single motherism, and then you take into account the statistics behind stepdads abusing kids? I'm talking about kids in general. And then people start putting two and two together, and then you put two and two together when you interview sex workers and the hoes, right? The people that people like to just shit on sometimes, or the street workers, and then you ask them, oh, what happened? Oh yeah, I was touched when I was a kid. Why? Because my single mom kept bringing all these boys. Why don't we start addressing the actual root of these things? Because their single mammies were bringing all these boyfriends around their daughters, their sons. Do you know how many men that have been molested by their stepfathers too? But we don't, but like I said, we want to act like this stuff is normal, where a woman can just break up her family. Churches do nothing about it. They just let it happen. Bringing all these, because it's not just one stepdad, it's all the boyfriends they'll bring over to the house. And then act like that's not going to have a negative effect. These are the real things that we need to start going into. Or when we talk about, man, why are these policemen on edge, man? Why they be pill popping? No, why don't we talk about why police are usually stressed out because they got to worry about their whore of a wife waiting for them back home, doing God knows what, and then they got to go back on the job with that stress. Then they go right back to pill popping. Why don't we start talking about the real problems? Because at the end of the day, this would actually put into place, okay, who are the bad people here? Who are the real perpetrators? Who are the real people in responsibility of these things? No, what we want to do is we want to wait until shit hits the fan and then start shaming street workers. We want to go on the whatever podcast and talk sense into street workers. They're already done. They've already been damaged. The fuck? He said it's like talking feminism to a chat and it's like talking feminism to a chat. It's too late, bro. It's like it's so like this is why like women will be mad when I say this, but like you're wasting your time talking about, oh, we got to fix the incel homie. If you're already using incel, if you're already using it as a diss, then you're already part of the problem. You don't want to fix the problem. You just want to make fun of those men for not being able to have sex. So whatever consequences that come with it, deal with it. We need to fix this problem. No, what you think you just want to shame them even more for your entertainment. You just want to troll them. You want to troll those young men for not having sex, for not being able to do certain things, but then at the same time complain that there's a gender wage gap and all this stuff, and men are not a bruh. You guys are creating your own problems. You deal with it. You know what I mean? Like you'll talk to these normies, bro, and I'll be laughing, man. These motherfuckers just gaslight. Shout out to Rocky here. He said they just gaslight. It's just gaslighting upon gaslighting upon gaslighting. Nobody really wants to fix the actual problem. This is how this is how with Lila Rose talking about sex trafficking and porn and all. Stop. You don't want to fix sex trafficking. If you did, you would speak on the family that I'm gonna call them Hillary C, Oprah, and these people. If you really want to fix the problem, you start calling people out, but they know they can't call people like that out because they get killed. So let's not do let's not do that. Shout out to the Clintons though. I'm not accusing them of anything. Just pointing out the obvious. Just pointing out the obvious. And this and Pyro, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. I'll use the logic against the women. I'll literally be like, okay, just by the use of incel, for you using the term incel, you're objectifying your own self, meaning you only respect men that can replace you. And I'll say that, but I'm like, you're using incel as a diss. You're making fun of people that can't get laid. And then this is what they do now. This is what they do now. This is what they do. They be like, no, incel doesn't mean you get laid. I'm talking about somebody that hates women and people in this. No. If if you wanted to call somebody a misogynist, you would just call them a misogynist. You wouldn't call them an incel. You're making fun of them. You're deeming them low value because they can't replace they don't get women. Like I said, I'm like, I've never heard y'all women call Future an incel, right? I've never heard women call Trump an incel. I never heard women call Nick Cannon an incel, or whatever dude that has multiple women and all. I've never heard them call Eddie Murphy an incel. So they know what they're doing when they calling you. They're making fun of those people that don't get laid, and then complain about the problems that come with it. So but like I said, but it's only natural though, because women they don't respect men that can't get hoes. But then at the same time, they'll say they want exclusivity. I'm like, baby, it don't work that way, bro. So Harps and Desire says incel is the feminist progressive version of a term like suppressive person in Scientology or reprobate in fundy Christian circles. This is why I'll be laughing. I'll be seeing some of these dudes that be calling me incel, and then I look at their profile and I'll just be like, nah, homie, I think you're an incel, but I would even call you an incel. I would just call you a man that don't even get sex at all. Because like I said, I've been on those incel forums, especially for the past 2 months. I've really been paying attention to the incels and looking at their posts and the stuff that they put. They're not the guys. They're not the incels are not no threat. They actually like I said, they put me onto the dog pill. I'm talking about they put me onto things that I had no idea. And like I said, the incels are different from the RP space. So let's not get it twisted on that end too either. He said just a way to mercilessly dehumanize anyone they disagree with. This is facts. But that's why I say you really like men should not be arguing with women. That's like no. Ninjas they watch a couple of Kevin Samuels videos and they think they can do the same thing as him. I'm like, bro, it be dudes. Even even some of the guys here, I'm telling guys, don't talk about this stuff at your job. Y'all are begging to be fired, bro. These guys, like these women at the HR departments, the nurses taking care of you, don't talk about this stuff. He said they have more respect for women hate than men who get no box. Exactly. And they've also done the studies because they talk about, oh no, the incels are people that hate women. No, they've done the studies. They've shown that the men that actually have sex with more women than most are the ones that actually uh exude misogynistic thoughts or think on the misogynistic scale. They rank the highest are men that actually get most of the women. They've done the studies on this. So like I said, it's like you'll put that study out there and they'll say, oh, it's the incels. We got to worry about the incels. And you're just like, oh my God, these people are. It's like, but like I said, I'm so happy that I saw, I'm so happy that I saw the propaganda when when you're talking about how they were trying to call the Muslims the terrorists. You know what I mean? I'm so happy that I grew up with Terrell Owens was my favorite athlete. You know, Kyrie Irving, one of the I respect him out of all the NBA players. I'm so happy that I grew up that Allen Iverson, because I've seen these guys get labels put on them, and you're just like, this isn't true. But because the media keeps repeating it, people just agree with it. I'm so happy that I had a respect for Cat Williams growing up. You know what I mean? Because now I see the game. Women don't have tactics that haven't been used before. They're just using the same tactics that mainstream media were using. Take Mia Khalifa, for example, the porn star. Right? She always repeats, they stole money from me. I was tricked into doing porn. She just keeps repeating it. She keeps repeating it. Now, she knows what she's doing when she does that. If you repeat something well enough, most of the normies are going to submit to it. Most of the normies, they're going to submit. Because there's going to be somebody that really doesn't know about Mia Khalifa's personal life, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, you know, she said that they stole from. No, she's just she's been debunked so many times too, but she keeps repeating it. Now, the way I grew up, because I wasn't really socially, I'm a socially awkward person, so I don't really like talking to people in general when I be outside, or I'm just like, I'm very socially, like, I'm opposite, like, so I try to make sure I'm not always in the crowd. So I'm always, I was always, so if somebody's always repeating something to me, I'm like, okay, what are you trying to do to me? You're trying to play. I know what you're doing. Hold on, I got the sound bite. Do I still got that sound bite? Anytime somebody starts pushing down like certain propaganda on me, hold on, where's my sound bite? Here we go. As soon as people start forcing certain things, man, I'll be like this.
You don't force that for me. Come and I go answer that. Cause what you want to hear, if you the answer you want, you have to go and be for that.
That's my man. Anytime somebody start pushing that shit on me, I'd be like, whoa, hold on. If somebody starts repeating stuff to me, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing here? Like what like I've seen, they've done it to all of my favorite athletes: Balotelli, Terrell Owens, Allen Iverson. They did I'm talking about they did this I'm talking about mercilessly ruin my athletes growing up. Ruin them. Yeah, facts. You're not gonna push that. Oh man. He said, "What's last few words?" What do you mean by that? You mean like, oh, how am I gonna close the show? Oh, this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. But like I said, when it comes to that propaganda, it just it. Oh, from soundbite. Oh, the last few words. Oh, the last few words. The last few words. I know what you mean.
You don't force that for me. Come and I go answer that. Cause what you want to hear, if you the answer you want, you have to go and be for that.
You're basically I could be wrong, but basically the answer that I give you from the answer that you want, that you're trying to force on me, and you want my opinion. Once I say it, you can't be all like, oh man, you're this, you're that, you're misogynistic, you're you can't put no label on me after that, and then say I'm the bad guy for asking me what you're trying to force on me. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to force something on me. And I'm like, do you really want the answer on how I really feel about what you're trying to force on me? No, you don't. you don't want that. You don't want that. He said that's too fast for me. Yeah, facts. Trust me, you don't want the answer to you don't want to know. People will force, like they'll force me to do want me to force me to do certain things. Like it'd be people in my life. Why don't you drink with me? Why don't you want to get high? And I'm like, do you really want the answer? Why I don't? Perfect. Thank you, Pyro. Because I'm not Jamaican. He's trying to say that somewhere else, not where I'm at, because you're not gonna take the truth at face value. You can't handle the truth. Trust me. In the premise of what I love to play, because people will force certain things on you, force you to believe a certain way. I'm talking about go out their way, and you'll be like, why are you trying to force this on me? But why don't you? Do you want to answer? Do you want the answer to that? Nah, yeah. Because what I show you, what I show you, a lot of the times the answer that I will show you, it's going to be a mirror to you back. When you have conservatives or liberals on my damn Instagram, on my damn YouTube, saying, why are you with this gang? Why are you with this? I'm like, you don't want the answer to that. He said, we Jamaican, we just noticed we talk very fast until somebody from another country tell us. Nah, man. The fastest speaking motherfuckers I ever seen is wait, hold on. Why can I not bring up? Nah. I'll say this. The people that be tricking me the most when it comes to this language shit, even though they're, it's patois, it's English, whatever, but but I mean, like when it comes to speaking a different language, like really speaking a different language, is those people that be like half Polish or half Russian that be here in the States. They be confusing the shit out of me when they talk, because they'll speak like perfect English and it'll be like, whoa, I'll be like, whoa. What did you just say right there? What did you just say? Hell nah. Like I'm talking about. Have you ever been like in one of those retail shops and like they'll be speaking like the dude or the woman will be speaking for perfect English, and then they'll be like, okay, here, and then they'll talk to their husband or their friend, and they'll say something real fast in their native tongue, whatever, and they'll be speaking Polish or Russian. You just be like, whoa, what the hell? And you'll be like, damn, I have no idea what they just said. At least with Spanish, right? At least with Spanish, if you've been in enough Spanish class, you can pick up on certain things. He said them Slavics, yo, because they be speaking perfect English. And then they'll say, I'm be like, damn, I don't even know what they said. At least with the, the English, the Scottish, the Irish, the Jamaicans, the Norwegians, or even the Dutch, right? Or the Germans, they say certain phrases. It's like the language is very, you hear some English in it. Like there's certain things that Germans or Dutch people say, and it's actually you can hear English shit. You'd be like, whoa, wow, that's interesting. that's interesting when you start picking up on the language. But yeah, when it got like I'm talking about those Eastern European, man, they be saying because they'll say something you'll have no idea what they said. You can't put no context clues together or nothing. You're on your own. You need to just know what it is, or you're beat. He said them Slavics, man. And by the way, those Slavics, or we talking about the Albanians, the Bosnians, the Slovenians. These people, those white people, they do not play. These are like people just think because the average American white man is not. I'm telling people don't understand this. They're night and day. Like when you're dealing with those people, those are different type of people. The Russians, they're different. How they talk to you is very different. It's very different. You can't play games with those people. You can't talk to them in a certain way and just expect them to take it. Croatians, yes. Yo, because people think there's no rate. Like people think white people are not racist against each other. I'm like, oh, you've never talked with Europeans before. You'll have these people in a bar arguing over nothing. Anybody that I'm talking about, anybody that's been around, they'll be in a bar arguing over nothing. I'm talking about those. It'll be like different countries, or it'll be certain people from the same country. They moved to Switzerland, but they're still from a worn-torn faction or something, and they're arguing over. I'm talking about or about to go to war over nothing, and they think because they call a couple black people monkeys from here and there, they think that they're so racist. No, they're very racist towards their own people, way more than anything else. They don't they're not really thinking about ninjas like that because there's not a whole lot of ninjas around them. Yo, this is what like a lot of particularly American black men, they don't know this. A lot of American black men, they have no idea. They're like they'll be talking like remember the Morris twins? They try to talk crazy to Nikola Jokic and his brothers. I'm like, do they understand what they're doing? This is not like the average white dude from buttfuck Texas or anything. This is isn't Jokic, isn't he Slovenian or Slovakian? One of those. These people don't play. Let me see this. Nikola Jokic. Serbian. He's Serbian. Oh yeah, the Serbs don't play. But the Serbians, they don't play. Serbia, the Serbs, they got a never mind. I'm gonna get my YouTube taken down. The Serbians, that they don't play games, bro. These ninjas, man. Like the people like, oh man, the Morris twins, they'll take down Jokic brothers. I'm like, are you sure about that? Nah, I don't, nigga, I don't think so. They took it to heart basically because the Morris brothers beat up like their mother's boyfriend at the time. And they're like, you see, look at them standing up for their single mammy. I'm like, this is what y'all putting up in the air. Oh my God. And because of that, they're considered quote unquote tough. Man, stop it, man. Like, I don't know. These guys need to go to Europe. Or it'll be like American dudes complaining about racism, but like in Italy, it'll be dudes in the soccer stands with actual bananas making fun of rival opponents' best black players, bro. Like people like yeah. A lot of Americans, they complain about nothing. A lot of Americans, they complain about nothing. But anyway, let me sign off. Let me sign off, man. Thank you guys for tuning in because I went way over 10 minutes over 3 hours. I thought I was going to be on here for 2 hours, but I got to get my nap in before I have my before I do my soccer match here. I joined this group, whatever, this pickup co-ed group. Also, another thing I keep telling you guys. Well, it's not really co-ed. I thought it was just gonna be just men, but a couple girls be showing up from here and there. But like I said, the prettiest bitches in sports play soccer. Just giving you a heads up. Anyway, but thank you guys for tuning in. Man, Garrett, thank you guys. Laurette, Rocky, Angel, D-Man. I'll be seeing D-Man from time to time in many chats. And I'm talking about just like across like different streamers chats. Man, D-Man is plugged in. Same with Garrett, though. But Eon, thank you for tuning in. Jesus loves, oh yeah, there was this guy. Jesus loves everyone. This guy, T Greeny, thank you for tuning in. Pyro, thank you for tuning in. Harps Desire, thank you for tuning in. Rolando, thank you for tuning in. Angel, thank you for tuning in. Man, it's because looks like I got to really start streaming more in the middle of the day so I think that'll just be better. But that's only if I'm available in the middle of the day. But thank you guys, man. Later, guys. Thank you for tuning in. TradCons, because never mind. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I'm going to sign off on here.